What it is, what it do.
What up?
How are you feeling?
Feeling great.
That's good news. Good to hear. Glad you're on the mend.
Feeling like a nigga need to quit doing
Gracias. Ali, Kimberly, OG and his gutter friends. What did it do? Somebody was marketing their OnlyFans on the site.
Man, I woke up, I was like, what is this?
Oh wow! I just started
Need a
laughing.
break from trade. Take me out.
It wasn't that a dude.
Yeah, I mean, must be a youngster or something, man. There's a lot of youngsters over there. They were asking me, we're, dropping our sauce. Me and Ant went over there and,
Where's
doing
that?
what we do.
Where were y'all at?
This guy's calling himself ICC. He has a whole program. He seems pretty cool. He has a Christian-based community from his perspective, but it's not a Christian community at all. These guys are clowns. But
Right. That is Sai. ICC is Sai.
So was he like, hey,
Oh, it's
guys?
Sai.
Was he like, ladies?
yeah, he
Sai.
talked to me. He said, don't take it personal and all that, because I started dragging a few people. They banned me because I was going after them, but they didn't know that they approached me first, right? So now they're not banning me. They banning them guys. But a lot of them are asking questions about what we do because we're helping, right? And they're not getting a lot of help over there. And he's not getting a lot of help over there. So I'm trying to meet up with him and see if we can kind of collab a little bit. He needs some help.
Is Sai in California?
I'm not sure. I know he's in America. I asked him about that because I thought he was from Europe.
He's in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
he's a cool guy. He's cool, man.
Yeah, he was on your boy's podcast. Calvin the New Trader. He went through some rough stuff, man, with his mom.
You know why you got the OnlyFans?
No, somebody else, somebody in his group got the OnlyFans. They got the OnlyFans pop.
I heard Elfie was hitting him up for that.
Oh my goodness. All right. Hey, did we have how many swing traders on here? I'm asking for a friend. Does anybody consider themselves swing traders? All righty. I was asked him because I went back to look at the trade that we called out from the first to see if anybody was still in that trade. We called out those JPY longs and basically said to where they was going. They're still going up. I'm not in the trade either, but I just wanted to see if anybody was holding on to their position.
I was in a sell at first. I got out of it. Once you guys started talking about the buy, I got out.
This was at the first of the year, like January 30th. I think we had that call. I think it was Saturday, January 30th.
I think Ebony's in the one of the JPY pairs that was from earlier.
All right, let me see something.
We talked about it on the call yesterday.
Okay, so this is kind of what we were looking at the first of the year. And this was the 62, which we just hit. And this is the 78. I was just curious if anybody held it and caught the ride up. A lot of times I think because we look at weekly order blocks every week, we just kind of forget about the one that we traded the previous week, whether it hit the TP or not. But I think that this has a possibility to go up here all the way to the top. I'm just basing that off these equal highs right here. But, you know, we'll see, maybe not. At any rate, if we had taken the one trade from that time frame, you know, from that first you know, week, you could have got in on the pullback here, but this is Friday. So if you would have waited until the next week on Monday, because remember the market was closed on Sunday, it opened up Monday afternoon. If you waited until London session, you could have got in right here on this push up. And I think this is where most people got in. And if you look at it, at the path, there was really never a reason to get out. So if you had held that trade, yeah, you're pushing up on 700 pips, and it's still going to push up. So I can see it, you know, at least coming to this level, and then probably up to these highs too. This is the double top up here. I know we expect this pair to sell off, but it's just, you know, when you come back and look at it, the accountability is kind of you know, this is exactly what ICT was saying about, hey, you're going to be able to see it, but you ain't going to be able to trade it. Because if we had put the fib from here to here, this is the 78. We had it marked up. We had the zone marked up. I even say I like trading it at least to the 62, but I mean, I didn't hold it either. So this is where I'm going to improve, you know, this year, because this right here, if you look in your MT4 and you got more than one trade and you took any JPY trade from the beginning of the year, you're messing up unless there's multiple entries on this same trade. And if you think about it, you know, we had discussed getting in the trade and then managing the trade from, you know, the higher time frame. You could have got in here, could have got in here. So you had one entry, two entries, three entries. And I'm, you know,
And I think it's going to go back to probably the 78 of that push up.
I agree too.
Before
I think it'll break. I think it might break this high first, though. Who knows? I don't know. But if I look at the day, I expected to pull back on the daily candle, and then break this high, and then stop in this order block to pull back. But the point is this: there's plenty of room for improvement when we take the trade and we look at it, you know, through these lenses, because for at least all of last year, we've paid attention to the end of the month moves, and in this case, the end of the year move, and we knew we were going to get this push. So we just have to be you know, accountable to ourselves to be able to take advantage of the setups that are like big joker guarantees. This is going to, like, we knew it was going to come to the golden zone, and I knew I had a great deal of clarity that we could get the 62 out of this move. I mean, I felt very strongly about that. Let's say you didn't trade GJ, you don't like GJ. This was even more monstrous, you know? So, you know, I don't know how everybody's trading is going in 2024, but if any of us had taken any of these trades, your trade should have been going excellent. This is the only trade that you would have needed. 634 pips. This is the 16th. We would have gotten this trade on the 1st. So 15 days of holding a trade, doing nothing, making 634 pips. At $3 a pip, that's $1,800. I don't know what anybody does for a living. I don't know what everybody does for a living, but it's not bad for doing nothing, right? If $5 a pip, like $3,000. So look, man, like these setups, we see them, and they're going to be with us the entire year. But the difference is this year is going to be different for me, right? Like trading a weekly was cool, but these higher time frame setups is where I want to be, because I mean, who don't want to put in a trade and go live their life for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, not even worrying about a pullback, whatever. If you want to get 2 entries, get 2 entries. And then go live your life. Go do what you got to do. Go to work. Go whatever, right? So I say all that to say this. I was paying attention to the 2-week order blocks. And while they're not as sometimes they don't run as long, as the other order blocks. Once this thing turns around, I'm in there, bro. I'm trading this. And the thing is, if I go to the 22-day chart, and this is an order block, it's just tapping in. Wherever it stops, I'm riding it. I'm riding it down to this imbalance, right? And I'm not worrying about having to get out. This is 903 pips. If I trade $1 a pip, that's $909. If you got $5 in your account and you go to the forex minis, you can make real money still trading this sell move. Whenever it sells, it's not selling right now, right? But when it turns to sell, right, we know that this is the imbalance that we're pushing to. This is the imbalance that we're coming to. This was the impulse move that broke this high. There's the imbalance. Price push up, we broke another high. There was an imbalance. Price came down. Close the imbalance. Now it's pushed down here. It's going to close this imbalance. So maybe we could fib from here to here and get a good pullback. But my point is, we know for sure that we coming to close this imbalance, right? These are just what the setups that the charts are giving you. If you don't want to guess, about what area that price is coming to, or how you need to trade a specific pair, in my opinion, you can go to the higher time frames and you can look. We pushed up, we broke this high, we didn't break this wick, so we broke these highs. Now we're pulling back, and now we have to find an imbalance on the lower time frame that we're pulling back to. It's not on a month. So on this 2-week, maybe we're just coming back to this unviolated, what do you call these, equal lows right here, or relative equal lows here. Maybe we're going to push back into this area. Maybe on the week, there's still not, I don't see any imbalance. I do see some unmitigated zones. I guess there's a little imbalance here, from here to here. But this order block has not been tapped. I think we have this order block. Well, it's been tapped. This order block hasn't been tapped. So there are multiple areas of interest, right? And all we have to do is look and see what's going on. Here's your high, here's your low. Price pulls up, doesn't break your high, it breaks your low. We're going to push up, trade into the imbalance, then we'll push down. This will be the low that we focus on. It's either going to break this low or it's not, right? There's a high likelihood it'll break this low. Where is it going? To this low. So if you're looking at moves like this, you're catching this move on the pullback, and you will have the first low is 547 pips. The next low is 837 pips, right? So maybe you can fib from these highs to this low. We're in the zone right now. So we're paying attention to maybe get a turnaround in this area. And when I zoom in, I see an imbalance right here. So maybe this is a great area to target and look at for a possible turnaround, right? And if it doesn't, that's cool. The next area that we'll look at, there's an order block up here. So all we have to do is kind of keep this lined up, right? And we're still trading weekly order blocks or whatever. But the point is, if I can catch a longer move, if I can recognize the move as a longer move, yeah, maybe it gives me a weekly order block. But now I can take the approach of, hey, man, I'll get in here and I'll enter, if I can get 2 or 3 entries in this move, I'm set. And maybe I can take that approach. I can take a totally hands-off look at it, and I can allow the trade to marinate for 2 or 3 weeks. We're 2 weeks into these JPYs. And I see some chatter on the JPY sometimes, but the truth is, we was all in the JPYs right here at the first of the week, first of the year. So the God's honest truth is, you could have had your first entry, your second entry, and your third entry, and we're still pushing up. We still have 200 pips. How do we screw that up? I'm talking about one entry from the bottom to the top. One entry from down here to up here would have been 700 pips, right? That's not counting your second entry from right here of 400 pips. It's not counting your last entry from right here for 350. So what, 15, 1200, what is that? 11 plus 350, 1450. Bruh, like, for me, this is for me, this is where my personal improvements have to come from, because it's not going to be trying to drop down and get the best risk to reward ratio. No, that's not where I want to improve. Where I want to improve is getting multiple entries and holding my trades for 2 or 3 weeks, right? Taking your payday and going and getting you something nice. I think that's where I want to be personally as a trader. Because to me, it will be nice not to have to worry about, a trade from not only day to day, but from week to week. And I know some of y'all are thinking, well, what if I have a funded account? Your funded account would have been great too. Maybe on that first pullback, maybe you would have had to take profit if your position was a certain size where you would have lost 5% in one day. But I don't think that would have been a 5% pullback. I don't know for sure because I didn't do it. I personally would have just sold it that day, because I know we're not at the top of the range, and I know the trade still had some meat on the bone. So instead of getting out of my position, I would have just sold. But I just think it's an area that deserves a little bit of focus if this is the way, if you're going to swing. I mean, if you're not, then it doesn't make any difference. And maybe you just use it because you want to trade in that particular direction, but not hold the trade for 2 or 3 weeks. But for me, I want to be able to hold my trade the entire time and not have to get in and out of anything. All right, what are y'all trading this week? What do y'all want to look at? Bueller? Anyone?
Gold and UJ.
Oh, the UJ. All right.
While we're getting there, we can remember now, like when I got here, I think I got you guys around March. And you guys talked about your meetings in the beginning of the year. All you guys are still here, all the main players. And you get to remember now. I think people are ready for that part. You're going to remember what happened in January. So that next year when we do this, we're all going to be in the win. We missed it this time, but we're not going to miss it next time. So.
And it won't be January, it'll be June.
Right. We're doing it in June.
We get that 6 month close, and it's going to be the same scenario. And here's the kicker for this, OG. Once this starts selling, we still going to eat. And it'll be a bigger sell than this green candle. I think most of us believe that the dollar is going to drop. Once it starts dropping, it's going to drop further than what it was. So I believe that all of those JPYs will cook off. But even if it just cooks to this high right here, which is where it really needs to come, I mean, that's a lot of pips. Almost 1,400 pips for one position. So,
Wow.
Yeah, we're in a great position, right? But now we have to start conditioning our mind to be able to sit on the trade, right? A lot of people just aren't comfortable sitting on that trade like that. So what I think is if you have a demo, put it in your demo, because in my opinion, that's what tells the truth, right? Like maybe you can't stomach the back and forth, but if you had it in your demo, when you look at it 2 weeks later, right? Like if you look at this gold trade at the 2 week mark, man, this hit right at the R62 already. So if you had came into there and threw that sale trade in and had your take profit at 62, right? Another winner, right? And gold pays pretty well. You would have won last week on the push down. But now gold is still pushing down. So let me try to find, okay, yeah, there's a big imbalance right here. So I think that gold will probably come back to this imbalance, eventually. And then we have to see what the dollar's doing. I mean, the dollar finally started getting the push that we thought going to the upside.
Tell Sean to shut up.
Tell
Sean to
he has the headphones.
I figured. I knew he was gonna say that.
He's a winning. But I think the dollar will come at least to this imbalance. I mean, I would really love to see it. I would really love to see the dollar push higher up than that. I would really love to see the dollar fill the imbalance at this 105 or 108 level. I don't know that we'll get that, but I would love to see it. And to me, what gives me kind of a good hope is, you see these lows? We swept them. We pushed up to break these highs, 78% pullback. So this is where we should come.
You got to believe it this year. You got to believe it this year. We told y'all everything about the dollar last year. Come on, we got to go. We got to go this time.
We'll see. But this is where we should expect to see the dollar come. And that's right at that imbalance, that close of that imbalance. This is exactly the movement that we were anticipating, right? And now we can kind of see and understand how long things take, right? Like it's kind of like the oil. Hey man, oil's gonna buy, oil's gonna buy. Man, I've been saying that since November. And it doesn't move as fast as we say it's going to happen. But everybody understands what's going on, in the Middle East. It's not going to get cheaper. Like, regardless of what the chart looks like, oil is not going to get cheaper. I mean, y'all saw how Iran blew up some consulate in Iraq?
Mm-mm.
Y'all didn't see that?
Mm-mm.
I didn't see it, but I saw like headline or something.
Yeah, like this. What we have to understand is it's only going to get worse.
And that's actually the first thing that came to my mind was oil. Like when I saw it, I was like, oh shit. Yep.
And when you're in the know, it's great because it hasn't spiked yet. So everybody's still getting a chance to get in, but people don't know what we know. See, it's all good. You sit there and keep tapping them 0.01s and keep putting them at support, and you'll end up with a standard lot.
See this right here? They hit him with them ballistic missiles last night.
Mm.
So listen, the the U.S. oil won't. It's not spiked. Like every other day, it seems like I come in and I look at it and I see where it gaps up a little bit, right? It'll gap up, then it'll come back. So I'm not tripping, I'm still trading my other stuff. But what's interesting to me is it seems like all they're trying to do is shake the people out of the position. It's still on a steady incline. It's just not pushing up, like I personally thought it would already be pushing up, which is fine. I've surrendered to the time element of trading, right? For me, I don't care how long something takes at this point, because I have a great understanding of what the possibilities are now, right? I don't need it to go fast to my spot, but I understand that price is going to go to my spot. It doesn't have to go tomorrow. It doesn't have to go this week. It doesn't have to go next week, because I can continue to trade the weekly or 2-week order blocks. And I don't feel rushed, or anything. So in my opinion, those are, those are the solid plays. And these are the ones that I want to catch to be able to sit in that trade, for the long haul. And when I saw this set up this week, I'm like, oh, this is great. GA and GN, and I didn't know whether it was going to push up first or sell, but I don't care. I just know when it starts to sell, I understand that I can take the sell. So push up higher. I don't care if it pushes up to the top right here. Please do what you got to do, because when you start to sell, now I have a bigger runway, to sell this thing down. I know I can sell this down to this level, which is about 380 pips at this point. If it goes higher tonight, I can sell it down further. But my point is this. Whether I take GN or GA, and I'm going to take GA because I can see the level that it needs to go to more clearly. It's a trade that I won't have to get out of, for weeks, maybe even a month. Because even before, like in November, GN and EN, we expected, all those NZD pairs to start pushing down. And all we're waiting on now is a pullback from that 2-month candle. All we're doing is pulling back, right? Whether it goes to the 78, that's cool. Maybe it goes higher, that's cool. Then I'm getting in for the ride down, right? And again, GN and GA are very similar, and I prefer to ride GA because I can see the clear imbalance. But I just think that if you're a swing trader, you want to catch those moves at the top up here, right? You get in, you ride down, you don't have to worry about getting in and out of a trade. If you're not a swing trader, scalp your way up or day trade your way up, and then scalp and day trade your way down. But it should give you a comfort of mind to understand that, hey, for the next however many weeks until price gets down here, I'll be day trading or scalping to the for shorts. And right now you're scalping and day trading up, but you're getting to a point to where it's in your area of interest. So now you're more jittery or you're more nervous because you're like, dang, it might turn around. Tonight is Tuesday. I might be trying to buy and it might turn around and hit me with a sell. At least you're in the know and you have that understanding that, hey man, on Tuesday stuff starts to shake. Tuesday, Wednesday, the real move starts to happen. So maybe the real move, this week, because we got this 2-week candle, maybe the real move will be to sell. Maybe you'll come up and take liquidity or create equal highs. I don't know. And then you'll push down. I figured that we take the liquidity from the top of this candle, which we did without a problem. But, I didn't know if we were going to push higher. But since we are pushing higher, maybe we take the liquidity from the top of this candle before we sell. Let me see how big of a move that is from where we are right now. That's 93 pips. I mean, that's very much possible. That's very much possible to go grab that liquidity and then push to the downside. So if you're trading, one of these 2-week order blocks, that's personally what I'm looking for, and that's personally what I'm doing. Somebody asked me about USD JPY. I think that we're going to feel this imbalance right here. I think that'll happen. And then I don't know, maybe what makes the JPY sell will be something kicks off over there, across the water. Or if not, I believe we'll take out these equal highs. I don't see a reason for the JPYs to start selling right now because they normally kind of roll with the dollar. The dollar's moving up, they normally move up. But they, unless there's some kind of fear, out there, if people start blowing stuff up, talking about war, talking about economy, crumbling, then the JPYs will start to retreat. In my opinion, though, you should have already been in the JP. We were in the JPYs from the beginning, right? It wouldn't even be a question about JPYs if we had just held our trades from 2 weeks ago, from the first.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where my pain and my frustration is. But the difference is at least we can see this now, right? Like at least you can look back and think, man, I should have still been in this trade. I was in UJ. Like maybe in years or months past, you never really looked back and saw kind of the damage that we're doing to ourselves. It's kind of like eating sugar or whatever, eating unhealthy. While we shoving it in our mouth, we don't understand the damage that we're doing to ourselves. But by looking back and seeing how this trade was given to us, we should have already been in this trade. And if we look, we had a healthy pullback. We pushed up and broke. Well, we didn't break it, but we equal high right here. Pull back 78%. Let me see if that's a 78% pullback. 78% pullback. So you would think that you can trade it up to 155. That would violate both of these highs. That'll give you your TP, your target area, and then you can probably look for it to start turning. Maybe the dollar is at 108 by then. I mean, that's how I would kind of look at it. What do you think, Kim? OG?
I love it. Like you said, you even told me, like, I get out of my trades early. I get in and out. I trap, I do all that stuff. I had the sell on UJ. I should have took that equity and went into the buy when you guys called it. Now, it's always better after the fact, right? We look back, and hopefully collectively we can catch these moves when they show themselves. There's no reason for us as a group, because we're looking at a lot of pairs. That's really what it is. But if we had people that specifically, I'm a UJ, like Rosebud likes CAD. So if someone specifically stays on that pair and lets everybody know when it's at the 78, because we all do gold, so we all got that. Somebody does UJ, somebody does CAD, somebody does whatever, right? And they just, hey, check it out. We're there because we have qualified, credible sources here. So if people just specify in a pair, they could bring it to the group. My hands are full with gold. So, and Ant does the indices. Rosebud has CAD. I hear people talking about Euro JPY and stuff like that. So, we're getting better. We're getting stronger. And the sky's the limit. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah, imagine how many times we could flip an account by trading that. If we had just held, we could have bought it and we could have sold every pullback.
That's the best way to do it. That's how you keep yourself from having to get out the trade or take profits. You hedge it. You go ahead and put that sell in for the same lot size, let it come down for the retracement, release the hedge, and then bang, it takes over again. I mean, that's a perfect move. It don't get no better than that, man.
Don't stop.
And we always have our main players here, and that's special, man. You guys are the same ones that are in the meeting all the time, and everyone here is getting better. There's only one way this is going to turn out, and it's going to be the right way. So we're here. Let's get it.
This shit should stay on more longer. What else y'all want to see? Which one?
I've heard some rumors about gold being at its peak by February. I don't know where I heard that, but I did hear it, and it makes sense that gold will push up like that, and then Bitcoin will push down, and tech and all the other stuff will push down, with gold going up there to touch resistance, and then follow in the rear and start heading down. Anything can happen. We'll see. You know, just like when it got to 2100, you know, we've been doing gold, right? So we said when it got to 2000, bang, it pulled back. It got to 2100, bang, it pulled back. So 2000 to 2100 is premium, right? So it was an easy catch. So now the next level up is 2250, right? Just like a 2000. So there's when it gets to 2000, you expect 2100. When it gets to 2250, expect 2350. So when we got to 2000, we got the pullback. When we got to 2100, we got the pullback. When we get to 2250, we get the pullback. When we get to 2350, we get the pullback. Easy money.
I'm trying to read Leandra's message.
And the correlation with Ethereum. Ethereum goes up and touches these levels first, and then gold goes and does it afterwards. It's a beautiful thing.
No, I was just saying that my plan was to hold UJ for the month, but I was in a prop firm, so I had to get out once you go to the next phase. And then I should have held my competition account, but I think I was expecting a pullback or something, or price pullback. So I just got out the trades, but I should have held those trades. But I've still got a small position in a 0.01 in the competition account.
Remember, I used to joke with you about being admin.
Well, then I should have thought
No, but listen,
like a 0.01 in my personal and just let it run.
but just think, this is a prime example of a trade.
Why am I always the example? Anyway?
No, listen. Just think if we were all, let's say if it was 4 of us, we had a 400K account. And
I
we were,
thought you were going to talk about last year, how the same thing.
I'm talking about, you know, this is the vision for why I was even saying that.
Mm-hmm.
If we're 4 of us are somewhere trading a 400K account for an entire month, we don't miss this move because we all have a shift and we're all keeping track, you know, of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
How do you run that 400K account up? We all split it up and then we go home. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This is exactly what I had in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I think it was harder to articulate back then.
Mm-hmm. I think everyone's ready for it.
I understood what you meant.
Yeah, but that would be, to me, that would be everything.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Because now you don't have to, like, you're only paying attention to your shifts, right? So if we had gotten that trade from the first, somebody would have said, hey, man, we don't have to close out. We can just ride this up, you know, until it gets to our area of interest. And now we all watch it on our shift.
Mm-hmm. Swing
low is X. You know what I'm saying? If it goes towards the swing low and it turns around, make sure you get another entry on your shift.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, we'd have been tearing it up.
It's a no-brainer, man.
Yeah, versus you trying to do everything yourself.
Yes.
That's why I was quite annoyed that I had to enter it on a prop firm account. So I was thinking, because I want to hold this long term, but once you've hit your target, your profit target, you know, you're coming out the account really, aren't you? You're starting a new one.
Right.
I mean, once you get to a certain level, you're not thinking about the money no more. You totally graduated the idea that I need to get to that level. Now you're at the level. Now you have so much profit. You're not even thinking about the time. It's a whole different ball game.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
But and this is why I know y'all was you was laughing, you and Sean was laughing when I said the admin, but this is everybody can't be there to trade a ship because you know somebody has to do the running, you know, like going to get the toiletries or the food. Somebody you know, somebody who can't, like the person who's trading can't just get up and leave. But maybe they hungry. You know, for me, you know, it's the team concept of being able to run up a bag. If we had a 400K account for this move, we could have had 3 40.0 lot sizes, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah,
you would have
I
had.
think that should be the goal for next year.
That's what I'm saying. So
because this happened
June.
last year as well. This happened last year.
yes, it did.
And in January, it happened. The same thing happened.
Yes. So if you think about this, a 40.0 is $400 a pip. This thing went 600 pip. I can't even count that high. This is sick. So just say, let's say 14. We calculated 1,400 pips at $400 a pip. How much money is that? 1,400 times.
What is that? 56,000. Every times it by 10.
560,000.
Yes, times by 10.
Bruh, are you serious? Like you divvy that up 4 ways. You cut the admin a check for what did I say? 10K or something like that. My brother, I'll do that.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. It wasn't that. It was
What
like,
was it? Hey, Sean, what was the admin?
no, it wasn't. Don't call him over. Do not call him over. Don't get him started. Leave him with his headphones. Leave him with his headphones.
Listen,
Leave him alone.
What was the fee for admin?
Don't get him started.
Was it
Todd,
6?
don't get him started.
I know, but I'm asking you, what did we say?
I think it was like 20K because of inflation.
I don't think it was
per day.
I don't think it was
High
20K.
maintenance. It was because of inflation. We had to raise the price. It's 2024 now.
Hold on, Leandra. Let's be serious. If you went and hired an admin right now, if you went to Craigslist or whoever, you know, where can you hire people from? We work
Philippines, that's where they hire. Virtual assistant. It's called a virtual assistant.
I can go right here in the USA and look for an admin who has a passport.
Virtual assistant.
I got a 30-day job for you that's going to pay 10K. Who ain't taking that job? In London, who ain't taking that job?
People who can't read.
Yeah. So you're going to get whoever you need. If you make 560K and we pay that person 60K, let's say the cut is 500 after that, because you know you get a percentage. We all walking home with over 100K for a month of work, man. That's crazy. That's not counting if we put the trade in our personal account. But you got 100K while you're on vacation in Thailand. Or wherever we chose to do this at.
Tell me when. Tell me when. I'll book my ticket.
But you know, this is where it would come to the point where, hey man, we gotta have somebody. I can't go to sleep on my shit to wake up. Hey man, I blew the account. What? You know?
Don't put me on London. I'm out.
But I'm just saying, you know, this, and that's not a shot at anybody, but this is just
I know.
A healthy understanding of what needs to happen. But this is also an example of the possibilities that lay in the future that are there for all of us. It doesn't necessarily, we don't have to have one account. It could be 8 of us trading 2 different accounts. It could be 15 of us trading however many accounts. My point is this. These are opportunities that are out there for every one of us because we all understand how to trade. We all are looking for the same thing, right? Maybe we don't trade it the same way, but as a group, you know, we're taking this trade from point A to point B. The objective on your shift is if we get a pullback, sell that son of a gun so we don't have to get out, you know, so we don't blow this account, sell it, right? And you know, if it sells, close the sell out. If it turns around and starts buying it, and throw us an extra position in there. Right? Like all of that stuff can be kind of talked about as we hand it over. For me, it's like the Army. Whenever I go to Iraq, it's some joker in Iraq already doing what I'm going to do. They're gonna give me a right seat, left seat, right. I'm gonna get there. They're gonna say, hey, man, this dude you can trust. This one you can't. This is what's going on. Boom. And then I take over. This is the same scenario that I would love to have in this group. And it doesn't necessarily have to start off in Thailand. Maybe it's local. You know, maybe we all meet up, not LA, because LA is dumb, ridiculous, expensive. maybe you meet up in St. Louis or somewhere that's not expensive. And you hit them for that first 100K.
Somewhere with a good time zone to trade.
Well, listen.
That's the main thing.
To me, time zone is immaterial because you got 4 jokers there. Somebody's taking every shift. Even somebody is sitting there on boring Asian. That's it. I mean, we're here to work for 30 days. You know what I'm saying? So somebody has the Asian shift. Somebody has New York and somebody has London. That means that if Todd is on London, I'm sleeping during the day. I'm not here to party. I'm not here to vacation. I have plenty of time to do whatever I want to when the market closes on Friday. But on Monday or on Sunday night, I need to be ready to rock on my shift. So, you know, all that stuff needs to go without say because this is a serious group of traders. We all trying to make, of course, we want to make 100K that month. That would be great. And then the next time we showed up somewhere, maybe we got an 800K account. Maybe, you know, I mean, bro, it's limitless. The possibilities don't have limits.
Mm.
And, you know, it would just be, you know, up to us to determine where are we trading from next? Right? Maybe it's Portugal. Maybe it's Greece. Maybe it's
Ghana, South Africa.
Yeah, maybe it's Ghana. Maybe it's South Africa, you know. It doesn't matter, but the point is you would have to be able to trust that I was going to come do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? And even that's why I said the admin could be somebody in the group who's maybe not the best trader. Maybe they're still learning, but it's still an opportunity to make 10K.
Yeah, Kano would be a good fit for that.
Yeah, when I ran this by Leandra's, she cussed me out.
It was Sean. It was Sean.
Oh, but you know that's just,
not telling them the full context. But anyway,
these are just some of the ideas that I think about. You know, whenever I think about like some of the possibilities for the group and some of the neat things that we could accomplish together. I'm not on the hook to make 100K for myself. I have a team that can help me do it.
Good bonding, all that.
Yeah.
We've built trust. You guys have been together longer than I've been with you guys, but my vision was the same. So you guys were doing that while I was doing my thing. We were all really doing the same thing and we end up finding each other. So there ain't no thirsty traps, none of that. Like total respect for the women, all that. All right. We're building the trust between each other and we know what we're doing. So the sky's the limit, man.
Yeah. And the same people that we making this money with will be the same people you go in business ventures with in 10 years. or in 5 years when you got $5 million. And hey, man, we can do something with this money. I don't want to spend all my money on this real estate project. Hey, go in half with me on this condo in Thailand. We can Airbnb it. Hey, go in half on me with this condo in Utah, or whatever the case may be. Now you have people who already know how to make money, who can lighten your load to grow your money. You don't have to take all the risk of a real estate venture. Maybe 4 of us get together and buy a strip mall. It's commercial real estate. Maybe we all buy an apartment complex. I have a cousin in LA. That joker went in with 17 people. I remember thinking how dumb he was. He went in with 17 people. They all had to go to the bank and get a loan. They bought this hotel for $17 million. So that's why they needed 17 people. So they could qualify for a $17 million loan. And they got them 17 jokers together. 3 years later, that hotel was appraised at $54 million. Cha-ching. That son of a gun has been a millionaire ever since. He owns 3 or 4 apartment complexes in LA, between Inglewood and Long Beach. He has a house in the hills over there, right above the airport. What's that? Baldwin Hills. Now, it's not the greatest look. Like he's not an interior designer, but I mean, the dude is loaded because he went in with some dude. They went in and they had the foresight to say, hey man, how do you eat this elephant? I don't have to get a $17 million loan if I get 17 jokers that can qualify for $1 million. But he had to know the people who could qualify, right? Like he graduated from UCLA. So all he did was get with his frat brothers, 17 of them, and they went up for it. This is the same opportunity that we're going to have as a group who trades. We might all be billionaires in 10
Will
years.
be.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm going to be a billionaire. I don't, and if you stick to it, if you stick to trading, you're going to be a millionaire. But in order to get to the billionaire, you got to take your money and put it somewhere where it can grow. Right. And we already know, and we discussed how inflation is going to run up. Real estate is going to run up. We don't have to trade nothing. We just have to own the property. We got to own the building. We got to own whatever. And it's just going to grow. But it's a lot easier for you to own a piece of that strip mall than it is to buy the whole thing. It's a lot easier on your pocketbook too.
And that's where it lands with the long-term mindset, like with the swing traders, and you've got to have that long-term mindset. And
well,
not
that, and you could still scout. You could still scout. We'll cover the swing, but you can still scout.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Cover the swing trade. We have the total picture for what we're trying to do from point A to point B, but the techniques from going from swing highs to swing lows, we got people taking pips all over the place.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing with UJ. I was still taking intraday trades, but I held my main trades for it.
But you still have the entire group of people. If you need assistance, you have the assistance. We know what we're talking about. Yeah.
And think about this. Let's look at this trade. Just so I can kind of recap what I'm saying here.
Reminds me of SMB Capital.
But let's say we were in Thailand. But look, let's say we were in Thailand and we got in this trade.
Yeah.
On London.
I got that.
The trade pushes up.
We're
already in the trade. This pulls back. This is 9 in the morning. Now I'm going to sleep. OG is coming on. OG said, man, it pushed up and pulled back. I'm getting us in again. Now this is the position that I'm asleep. So OG slaps another 40 lots on it. Boom. Now we got 80 lots. And it skyrockets. we just went from making 500K to pretty much double, pretty much, because this entry is going to be with us all the way up here.
Mm.
But it's something that I wouldn't have caught because I was asleep. I was asleep because I had been up all night. Bruh, what I'm saying is when we're in the position, somebody's coming to work and the price is going up. It don't mean you can't scalp. We got two positions. You can still scalp this move. Maybe you're on the 1 hour and you see a pullback and you add another position. And maybe you close it at the end of your shift. But we still got the 240 line rolling up. Then you get this pullback. We sell this pullback, right? And we add another 40 lot. So we got 3 40 lot positions. And all this move up, whoever's on shift can scalp. We can sell it, scalp. Now we're selling this. We add another 40 lot. We got 4 40 lots and scalp. It's it's endless. Like making 560K is basic off just the entry, the pullback, the entry, the pullback, the entry. That's very basic. That's not taking advantage of the real stuff that we would be taking advantage of, because every one of us understands what time that the move sets up. We all have what does ICT call it? We all have a zone. What does he call that? When it sets up, when the trade sets up from 7 to 9 in the morning.
What,
Yeah,
the kill
kill
zone?
zone.
Kill zone, yeah. We all have a kill zone on your shift. So you would be looking for this to happen between 7 and 9. And sure as crap, boom. You take the trade. This pullback right here, 1,700. That's the Asian shift. But you already have the trade pushing up. Man, the sky is the limit, man. That's all, the sky is truly the limit. And that's where I want to be as in this group.
How much is that account?
Well, it just depends. So that's another thing you got to discuss, because some people have 300K accounts, some people have 400K accounts. There's another company called Funding Pips Plus.
Oh gosh, no.
Well, hold on. Well, let me finish. You can grow the account all the way up to $2 million.
Funding Pips Plus. Is it a US?
Maybe it's funding trading plus. Funded trading plus. Funded trading plus.
Funding, yeah, trading plus, yeah.
Okay. So if you look at like the master account, that thing goes all the way up to, I think, like $2 million.
Yeah.
Can you imagine catching that UJ trade with a $2 million account? We get arrested, man. We get arrested when that deposit hit the bank account. They'd be like, I know y'all selling coke. I know. Ain't no way. The bank would probably decline that deposit, bro.
Did Nawaf tell you the story?
Having 4 200 lot positions. That's crazy.
Did Nawaf tell you about how he borrowed the 60K and paid them back in 2 weeks? They was pissed.
You borrowed 60K?
He borrowed 60K, traded it, flipped it, and paid them back 2 weeks later.
Yeah, listen, I'm about. I'm very close to doing that myself. But I have a railroad retirement, and I've been talking to these clowns. I want them to pay me cash railroad retirement. And like basically give me a severance instead of having to pay me every month. And I'm gonna run that thing up.
I
Yeah.
mean, if people are scared, I know Ant's not scared. Nawaf is not scared. I don't think Kim is scared. We got the people, man.
Listen, nobody should be scared because
Nobody should be scared.
you take that monthly order block or the monthly pullback and you trade it. You don't have to trade it with a 15 lot position. You can trade it with a small position. You're going to see the same thing happen every time. Like, the funny thing to me is everybody, if you ask every trader, young and old, new, it doesn't matter. If you ask them, hey, which time frames are the most reliable? They all to a T say the higher time frames. So, bro, we trading a 2-month chart. We know that's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can look at any one of those trades. Which one of them did not go your way? We knew it was coming. If we waited to trade, once that 4-hour order block, once that 4-hour candle closed above the moving average, if you go and look on any of those JPY pairs, once that 4-hour order block closed above the moving average, if you had jumped in, you would have flipped any loan, any retirement, anything. You would have flipped it. This is what I've been looking at for the past 2 freaking years. This is why I salivate about the possibilities and what the future holds. Because you have to see it first. Once you see it, you don't get the image out of your mind. And then you go back and replay it. Bruh, this is the 3rd time that I've seen this happen. I saw it last year, right? Last year, I wasn't savvy enough to trade the freaking move. Then I saw it at the 6-month candle, and I traded a piece of the move. And then I saw it again in January. That's why I knew the JPYs were going to do what they did. And I still didn't hold the freaking trade. I held it for that first week. I held it until it got to the 50. But that's a fraction. Like we're not doing it right. This is what ICT was talking about when he said, hey, even when you start seeing it, you're not going to trade it right the first couple of times. I mean, how much meat did we leave on the bone, guys? And even when we do trade this right and we hold it, we just talked about a scenario where we got a team of traders trading the same move. We could make $1 million.
Quickly.
Because we dropping, because we're on the charts at the kill zone times, trading one shift, and you're going about your business. And the next trader is going to sit down and trade their shift the same way you traded yours. That means the principal move, we'll just hold that move, and then any positions that we open and shift is just extra money made.
You set your parameters. If you want to scout, all right, you get what, 5 to 10 opportunities. You get to your level, you miss 5 times or however many times we're going to agree to, and then you can't scout.
Yeah, listen, man, this doesn't have a cap to it, man. That's the thing that like, I know y'all don't sit. I sit and dream about this. Like, this is really real.
No, you've been going on about this since I've met you.
Man, wait until when we do it, y'all gonna be going on about it. Y'all will be like, man, this is crazy. Like, I knew trading could get me anything I wanted, but God, dog. Like, I don't see any other traders doing it like this or talking about it, at least.
That's why they be capping.
But they have groups that pay and all that other stuff. No, I don't want you to pay me nothing. I want you to learn. Hey. And then let's go. Let's go get the real money.
Let's do it.
But everybody has to understand that the time frame that's involved. You know what I'm saying? Like, that, to me, that's what stands out the most. Because even after I made all that money first week, now I'm sitting here thinking like, man, it's still going up. All we had to do was be patient. Just wait. Even that one position, you could have, I mean, the one position is still growing. Now, if you had had the wherewithal to put extra positions in and then sell the pullbacks, bruh. You're in the. So, I just want to challenge people to start thinking bigger than your personal account, or bigger than your challenge account. Like there's a world of trading out here that exists, that we're going to embark on, that's going to change our financial futures.
These are the facts.
100%.
This is my life, so I'm with it.
Yeah, it's
I'm with it.
It's definitely going to like, I think that once you see this type of stuff, you just can't unsee it.
Yeah.
The possibilities are endless, and this is just my personal way of looking at it. It's 700 people in this group, and I get it. Everybody doesn't come on the call, but on this call, there's at least 20 to 25 other visions, in other ways that people see the market or see the possibilities of trading. That's the purpose of the freaking group, the network, the diversity, the angles.
And if you need an assistant, right, you can have 2 people on the shift. And then once we get comfortable with 2 people on the shift, we can split it up, and now we're trading 2 accounts. Now we have 2 separate, not 2 people on the shift, just one, but it's 2 different accounts at that time. Yeah.
Wow. Mind blown.
And then, like we said, however much the account costs, we all chip in on it. Once we clear that, everybody gets their money back, and then we're in the win. And we have Todd. He's the leader. He runs it. We trust him. We trust each other. We just keep building it.
Bro.
That'll be lit. A room full of traders. But it reminds me of that SMB. When I listen to SMB and they're just talking about how a room full of traders just trade in, and they all discuss their trades, and they all kind of sometimes trade similar things or different things, but they always shout out what they're trading to other people, so they know what they're trading. It's just obviously we're more digital and they're in person. It's just nice to be in person with like other traders. And
we would have our stuff written on a butcher blackboard or whatever, like we would have everything written on the board. Hey, this is where we at. This is where I have the trade going to. This is the possible pullbacks. Hey, this is the news coming up, or whatever the case may be. Bro, man, this is crazy, man. Like, it could get real crazy.
It's all set up. We have the whole group set up. Like we have the Saturday meetings. For this group, it'll be like a meeting every day. To just regurgitate, okay, where are we? Where were we last time? Where are we at now? Everything checks out. Okay, we're moving. It's pretty straightforward. And if you're not I'm not saying that you're not profitable, because a lot of people don't have their number yet. So this will get you to your number quicker. So now you flip this. Now you can go do your personal account, because you've been flipping over here. Oh, you're comfortable with it. You see what we're doing. You're part of it, and your trades enhance through being in this collective. And then when you get your funds back, now you can go do your personal account at the same time.
Can you imagine going to set up your personal account? What do you do?
Need a trustworthy broker. if you're putting in like over 6 figures, you need to make sure that broker is secure.
Well, yeah,
Well, yeah, I mean, that's true, but I don't care what the broker is. I'll go anywhere and flip an account. I don't care what it is. I don't care if they don't pay me. I mean, I don't want them to not pay me, but I can go
That's
anywhere
what
and flip
I'm
an account. I can go anywhere and flip an account.
yeah. If you end up broke now, there's a fast way to the top. Once you know how to trade, it's over. Which is why I was writing UP, like, bro. You ain't gotta wait until I'm 62. Hit me up right now.
Yeah, but can't you just make that in the markets anyway?
Yeah, you can, but the thing is,
Yeah.
why would I want to wait? Like I get a pension from the Army. Why do I want to wait for the railroad to give me a pension? No, I don't want to wait for the railroad. You know, they don't. It's better for them to pay people out. They don't want to. It's cheaper for them to pay people. They can give me 60. What's that?
Isn't your pension in the markets? Don't they put the pension on?
Well, what do they? What do they?
Trade
what do they put? What do they put your pension in?
I don't know. Is it in bonds?
No, basically, the S&P 500.
Yeah.
So if I personally can make 10% every month, and the S&P makes 11% on average a year, what should I be doing? I should be trading it myself.
Trading it, yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you don't have the skill set, then no, don't do it. But if you have the skill set, you'd be a fool not to do it. I mean, literally a fool. Because if you look at this trade that I have set up right here, says 11%. That one trade, all you got to do is make 3% more the rest of the year. That's just crazy. Every month, I've been trying to scream this to the top of my lungs. Every month, there's a monthly candle that's going to set up and pay you 10% every month. So you could conceivably take one trade every month and make 10%. Easy every month. The problem is we like to trade. We like to trade more than we like to make money. Think about that. Look at this monthly.
I wouldn't even.
Look at the pullback.
Wow.
I wasn't looking at the chat. Everybody lit.
Yeah, this is 2024 is upon us. Hopefully everybody is seeing, you're seeing the moves, right? Even if you're not trading them properly, even if you're a little late, the important thing is, hey man, I see this move. I understand that this is an impulse move, that we just had an impulse move and we're pulling back to the imbalance. Hey, I understand that this move that we're currently on is an impulse move that left an imbalance that we will pull back to. Once you start seeing it, man, whoo, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time.
The beauty of it is the types of trades that we try to implement, your stop loss is right behind it. So it's like when you go to the 78, you put the stop loss at the 88. Doesn't mean it's going to work. If you get hit, you get hit. But tuck the trade by the stop loss. 78s are 78s for a reason. We see them all the time. Put your stop loss at the 78 and rock with it. And then it's like, we're not gonna just let you not catch it. If we see it and you didn't catch it, we're gonna say, hey, what's going on? It's a win. I'm telling you, it's a win. I want to do it now.
Sky is the limit. Sky is the limit.
You can put an advanced trader with a semi-advanced trader, all kind of stuff we can do.
Yeah, it'll be lit. It'll be lit. It'll be lit. That'll be good.
Did we get a number on how much that account was?
What, the 4?
Mm-hmm. Like $500 or something.
Which one? The Funding Trading Plus?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You grow it. Todd, you thinking about just purchasing the higher one, or you growing one?
We could grow. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You know, obviously, while we're trading it, it's going to grow, right? So it doesn't have to be an account at its highest. So,
but then
if whenever I bought my personal account, this is when I bought a 5K.
But then you're talking about holding a trade for like a month, you know, trading the monthly candle or the 2-month candle. Then when you're on these programs, they take you out the trade sometimes when you've hit your profit target.
So at 20%, they'll take you out. All you got to do is hop right back in. It's going to happen on your shift. You're going to see.
But then you're not going to get the position, your initial position.
No. You're still going to be up. Listen. So if you're in a trade on your shift, let's say it's on London shift, and I'm in the trade, and we hit 20%, and my position's closed, I open them right back up. My equity that I have is still going to be the same, right? The only difference is, hey, I brief you that when you take over on New York, hey man, we got kicked out of the position because we made 20%. So if it pulls back, we should be selling anyway, right? It might be a little more inconvenient, but it is what it is. Listen, when I look at these accounts and how they grow up, let me see the scaling plan. That's where you want to look at the scaling plan. When I look at these accounts, for this program, there's not another account that even comes close to scale up to 800K or $2 million. Look at this. So let's just say we started at 100K. And you made 120K. They're going to take you out of the trade. Now, we have the choice to get right back in, which I would suggest if the market is running, get right back in. And then when it comes to a stop, we can email them and say, hey, man, move this account up. Now we go to 200K, right? And we do the same thing. When we get to 240, go to 400K. But if I'm at 800K, or if I'm at 1.6, I might not scale to 2.5 million. 1.6 might be good enough.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I just think that we have to, those are some huge numbers, man. That's crazy.
And the more you have, the more you make. It's pretty straightforward.
Yes. So even if, what would your scalp look like if you had a 1.6 account?
A scalp?
Yeah, Leandro. What would your lot size be when you were scalping?
What intraday trade?
Whatever trades. If you saw,
Well, depends if I'm already in a trade for a long-term position on a monthly. I've got to work out if I'm, obviously already in profit, and then how much I want to risk on that intraday, on that day, or on the week, or how much have I got left to risk on my account.
Risk? There is no risk. You have the whole boat. You have the whole boat. All you have to do is get in at the right spot.
I'm sure there's a drawdown. There's rules to this account. No?
You shouldn't be in drawdown.
The only rule is so once you go in profit, like once I'm in profit in this 5K account and I go to the 10K account, my drawdown is my profit. So when you're way up here, the drawdown is whatever you have in profit.
You see? Mm-hmm. So with that profit, can you make $1,000? You can.
Yeah.
You
have plenty of room for drawdown. You shouldn't be in drawdown. You should be getting in at a 78.
Hey, if I wake up and Leandro's got us a couple of $100K in drawdown, well, I'm like, what?
No,
it's gonna come back.
That is not true. No.
Oh my God!
You'll be on biscuit patrol for real.
Oh my God!
You don't play too much. Negative energy. Just leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Man, can you imagine if you go to sleep? We up 1.6 million. We wake up. We got. Hey man, we got 500K left. What?
Everybody's paid. It's just too easy. It's too easy, man.
That would never happen. No way. No way.
Sometimes
I think it's
sometimes you get in there and start revenge trading and they go to neighborhood.
No.
We've all listen, I've been up before in an account. I'd be up $2,500 and I blow the account the same day.
Mm-hmm.
So the important piece is to whatever style of trading you're doing, like you got to understand that it's not just my account. I can't do anything unrational, with the account.
Mm.
If I get my butt kicked,
and that's what
the art of getting your butt kicked should be getting your butt kicked and not costing over a certain percentage, right? Because at the end,
because obviously you need to know how much you're risking. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
on each trade at the end of the day, because obviously if you enter a trade and then it like slightly pulls back, you know what I mean? You know how much you've got your risk, what your risk tolerance is on that trade.
Yeah, hopefully, you would hedge it until it went back in our direction, because especially in a trade like UJ where we know it's going in one direction.
If news breaks out, what are you gonna do?
Standard lots, standard.
And that war breaks out. War breaks out. Market goes parabolic.
Listen,
OG would say, then what you gonna do? You know what I mean, what you gonna do?
Well, hopefully
you're saying about risk tolerance.
Hopefully you'll have a hedge trade set up in the opposite direction somewhere beneath you.
Is everyone hedging, or we all trading the same style, or what's?
No, stop us out. Don't get us. Listen, I just don't want to wake up with no money. It's like that.
Yeah. I mean, the simplest thing is getting in at a 78 and putting your stop loss at the 88. That is as straightforward as it gets. It doesn't mean that you're always going to get that opportunity in your shift.
There you go.
That's what you should be striving to catch 78% retracements. If you don't catch nothing else, catch a 78. It doesn't even matter the time frame. It could be the 1 minute. It needs to be a deep retracement. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Well, by the time we're doing this, I would have proven myself worthy. And if not, then obviously I'm admin. chief admin at that. And then
There's no problem with being admin either.
She said the chief admin. No, she want, if she gonna be the admin, she want 20K. I'm like, we're going to Craigslist for 10, shorty.
What do you mean? With me, you'll be getting, the best trading seats, best trading desk. You'll even get, a treadmill, like one of those treadmills underneath the desk and everything. You'll get a massager on your chair. You'll have, all the LED screens, whatever. A mouse for your disability, because I know you have a disability, don't you, Todd?
Yeah,
So,
hey,
you have all the equipment, everything.
I heard admins in Colombia would do it for 1,000.
They'll do a lot for 1,000, for sure. So,
hey, we have to use the translator, but it's only $1,000 we got to give up.
Yeah, but is the internet going to be good? Are you going to have even a laptop? They might just steal your laptop at that rate. Steal that.
Hey, how's it going?
What up, Jimmy?
How's it going, brother?
All
Mind
right. Welcome.
That's nice having me. Thank you. Did you see my message in the general chat? I can just repeat it if you'd like.
I'm reading it right now.
Perfect. Thank you.
ICC.
Yes, sir. I'm very new to trading. I only started learning and only went with ICC about a month and a half, coming up on 2 months ago.
Yeah, but
and I would like to say consistent, but that'd just be bullshit.
Well, but ICC it's we trade ICC pretty much. Impulse move correction. That means to pull back to the imbalance. And then the impulses, or the continuation after that. I mean, it's just, I think the terms that people try to put on stuff might be a little bit different, but it's basically the same thing. I've seen some of Sai's videos, and he trades a little bit differently. Like he waits until he sees the move push out, and then when it pulls back, he gets into the trade. But I think it's pretty similar. So if you look at this red candle pushed out, we said it would pull back. We actually bought the pullback. So eventually, when this gets to our zone, then we'll sell it back down. It's all pretty much the same. Now the time frames might change, but what we're doing is pretty much it's very similar to what Sai does. So I think that you should find some familiarity with how you're trading. How long you say you've been winning?
I've only been learning about a month and a half, coming up on 2 months. I haven't been very consistent, just kind of a few days a week, but it's time to lock in. And I noticed that I've only gotten 20 minutes into the video that OG had tagged me in last night. It was from a few weeks ago, probably the 5th, January 5th, the live stream. I began watching that last night, and there were a few similarities, but I definitely noticed that you guys trade between the zones or kind of look for the next zone, as opposed to what side does is kind of waiting till the end and then entering.
So it's probably because we trade the weekly order blocks.
Oh, what is an order block? I don't know if that's a stupid what. I don't know what that is.
No, it's not a stupid question, but an order block. So if you look at this screen here,
Yes, sir.
let me move this stuff off. I'm going to hit replay. Okay, the order block. You notice how this green candle pushed up? Then the red candle broke the low of this green candle. That's an order block. it's basically telling you the price is now going the opposite direction. You have a bearish candle that engulfs the previous green bullish candle. That's a bearish order block.
Okay, so order block is just a candle that engulfs the prior.
Well, so that's not always the truth, but in this case, you have a green candle that's shorter than the red candle. That's an order block. In this case, you have a red candle that's shorter than the green candle. That's an order block.
Okay.
Let me get, in this case, you have a red candle that's longer than the green candle. This is not an order block.
Understood.
You understand the difference?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. So basically, the order blocks basically change the direction that price is going. So price is pushing up, base, price is pushing up. Then you get this change in the direction of price. So you would expect for price to trade back up into the order block, then sell back.
Oh, that's so crazy.
So if you think about this, what's happening here is this is your impulse move. This is your I impulse, then you're going to get a correction, and then you'll get a continuation. So this is the impulse. And if you look down inside this impulse, it's going to leave an imbalance, right? An area of where your candle, this is an impulse move that leaves an imbalance where the wicks don't match, where the wicks don't touch each other. You see that?
Oh, okay. And that's called a what? I'm sorry.
Well, it's called
imbalance.
It's called an imbalance. But
Okay.
you only get that when you get that impulse move. The impulse move creates momentum. So you get this impulse move that leaves an imbalance. Then you get the correction. This is the I, this is the C, the correction that trades back up into this imbalance. Then you get the continuation. And you see this continuation, you get there's another impulse move that breaks these lows. Now you get the correction into the imbalance, and you get the continuation. You see that?
Wow. Wow.
So all we do here is, instead of worrying about this on the 4-hour time frame, we'll go to the weekly time frame. Because what it does at this weekly time frame, y'all give me an order block that we had this week. Is it like an eye of a tiger, Todd? Anybody?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know of the weekly order blocks. It probably wasn't very many. But all right, let me go to I'm gonna give you a 2-week order block. So what this does is when you get an order block, it allows you to take the move and buy it back. You get the impulse move, it allows you to buy the correction into your zone. Then you can continue the direction that the order block is sending price. So if you look at these moving averages, price is pushing up until the price gets here. You have a high, you have a lower high, then you break through the moving average. So we know that price is going to start pushing down. But first, it's going to come up into this zone. So all we got to do is buy it up to the zone, then sell it, because we understand that it's selling, right? If I look at this on this higher scale, now I can take a fib from this swing low to this swing high, right? And I can get a pullback area that I'm interested in to sell this trade to. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense.
So your ICI is right here. Your impulse move, it creates an order block. The correction is the buy back into the imbalance to close this imbalance. Because if you notice, this wick doesn't connect with this candle. So we need price to trade back into that area. We need to buy back into this area. The difference The advantage we have on this 2-week time frame is once you understand that price needs to come back up here, when you get this bullish order block, you know that price is going back to this imbalance. That's 289 pips. That's 289 pips that you can take advantage of. You see that? 305.
This is where people have the problem, because they don't know how to trade it back up. So they want to wait for ICC or ICI. You want to wait until it gets up there and then you do it.
So why
What
would you
we're
wait
teaching
300
is
pips?
build
That
the
has been
equity
my
up there
whole
and flip
question.
it.
The sentence OG said, why would you buy high, sell low? Everything was like, okay, ICC makes sense if I want to take one trade a month or one trade a week or whatever. But I mean, even if that is the case overall, it doesn't really matter. But I'd rather catch the bigger trades than.
And that's exactly what we're doing here. We're doing it by utilizing a higher time frame. I'm not saying that everybody needs to use a 2-week chart. You don't ever have to look at the 2-week chart, because somebody in this group will say something about a 2-week chart. You might just stick to the weekly chart, because the weekly chart generally plays out that week. The 2-week chart is going to take probably 2 weeks to kind of play out. But generally speaking, if you look at the weekly chart, and somebody always publishes the weekly order blocks. So if you go into that week and you have this bullish order block, we're looking for price to pull back, then press higher. In this case, you didn't get a good pullback. There's nothing you can do about that. But it looks like price is pressing higher. And what I personally think is this price will probably press up towards this order block, maybe tap into that block and sell off, right?
So a question I have is, when it comes to order blocks, right? So that one that you just showed, for example, right? Now the wick below, and the wick actually comes above where the buyers closed at. Does the wick of the prior candle have any effect? If you're looking at the higher time frame, like say, for example, I'm looking at the 1 week looking for order blocks, right? Does the wick have any effect on if it is or is not an order block?
No, your candle, like this candle either breaks the high or it doesn't. So it's either going to be an order block or it's not. Like if you, this candle, we don't break the high, right? So that's not. The body is bigger, but you don't break the high. That's not an order block. That's actually an inside bar.
An inside bar.
Yeah, that's just, I mean, you can look that up. It's kind of,
no, I'm just writing things down.
Yeah, it's basically letting you know, if you get an inside bar at an area of resistance, price is probably going to turn around. You get an inside bar at an area of support, price is probably going to turn around. So, I mean, you don't have to learn that per se, but that's just something you can add to your toolkit. But as far as, or if we just stick to the order blocks, like once we got this order block, we expected price to pull back up, right? Trade back up into the block to push down. So maybe we would have fibbed this candle. We would have got our golden zone and our 78, and we would have bought price back up. And in this case, price looks like it would have gave you at least your 50% pullback.
So I've heard fib before. I haven't done any research on it. I guess I will be doing some after this. Is that a commonly used tool?
Oh yeah, the Fibonacci. Okay. The Fibonacci is a great tool because you measure the pullback. You know, have you heard of discount?
Oh, that's what I see.
Yeah, have you heard of discounted and premium price?
Yeah, OG said it yesterday, and I had no idea what he was talking about.
So let's talk about it. This candle right here made a move. So if you get in for a sell right here at the bottom of this structure, what's going to happen? It's going to pull back. It's pulling back to the discounted level, 50%. 50% off. If you go get your favorite pair of jeans, do you want to pay full price or you want to pay 50% off? You want to get it at the 50% off. I want to sell when price comes back here, here, or here. This is a better opportunity for me to sell this price. Price is not always guaranteed to come to these other two levels. So your 50% is where you need to start looking for perhaps price to turn and burn, right? And more importantly, you see how this wick of this candle almost touches this wick?
Yes.
So that imbalance got closed pretty much. You're looking for the imbalance. This is the impulse move. The buy up was the correction. And then it fell as a continuation. So it's ICC. This is the same thing that I see. Impulse move, the wick is the correction, and then price fell for the continuation. We're doing the exact same thing.
You just have a better understanding of price action and where to actually look for entries rather than just kind of guessing.
Yeah, in my opinion, we have a more accurate way to find entries.
What I definitely like about this group, and I've only been in here for a few hours, I was only in there last night, there seems to be like a sense of accountability. And I've noticed that with like all the other groups that I've been in, there's none of that.
Well, you know, we want everybody to become profitable, man. You know, at the end of the day, we all live where we live, and in the town that I live in, I don't know anybody who trades personally, right?
Same.
So I think we all have the same dilemma. And on top of that, once we become profitable, if I need a business partner, I don't have to go search. I already know you're making money. I know your source of income is reliable. I know if I go in with you on this building, I'm not going to be paying all the rent myself. You know what I'm saying? So
it's an actual networking group.
Yes. You know, I mean, that's the goal. You know, I'm sure
yeah.
probably don't want to play, but you know, at the end of the day, you know, if we all succeed, then naturally, I think there will be bonds and relationships built. And, you know, like I always try to tell people, I won't be the best trader in the group. I'm sure there'll be people who can trade circles around me. I'm not here to be the best trader. You know, I'm here for the network, man. Like it's people here who understand YouTube better than me. It's people here who understand various different things. It's people here from Europe. It's people here from Africa. It's people here from all over the globe. So we have a network of folks that we actually talk to and interact with on a day-to-day basis or a week-to-week basis, that in the future, when everybody is making money, when everybody is established, now you don't have to worry about when you go to London, or if there's a real estate deal that needs to happen, or if there's something going on in the economy that you need to know about. We got 3 or 4 people over there that's going to put it in the chat. So, you know, in my opinion, the group pays for itself, man. Like just from us being a part of the group and everybody learning the same way. We don't all trade the same way. Some people trade quarters theories. Some people trade SMC. Some people trade support and resistance. It doesn't matter to me. You know, I want everybody to learn, you know, like to understand. I don't care if you trade ICI, you know, I mean, we trade ICI. We don't call it that, but it's all similar. So if you're saying you trade ICI, you know, that's cool. But we have a basically the same, we're looking for the same thing. We're looking for the correction and then the continuation, whether that's up or down. And at the end of the day, if you understand that you're making money, and we have to put our real money to work later on. I mean, I'd rather do business with you, somebody I know and deal with on a week-to-week basis than some stranger. You know, that's how I look at it.
Yeah, I appreciate being here and y'all being so open to helping such a beginner. Just to confirm, I want to have proper notes. So an imbalance is pretty much just more, how do I word this? Because I hadn't written that down, I was writing something else. But an imbalance is basically where, let me try and find an example, where wicks don't touch, right?
So every 3 candles need to have a relationship. So you have this candle. Well, let's start down here. You have this candle. You have a wick.
Okay.
It comes down here. It has a bottom wick. The price opens here. Price runs up a little higher, leaves a top wick. Price comes back. This candle, when it opens up, it needs to go touch the wick of this candle. And you see it pushes down wick to wick. See that?
Yeah.
It's healthy price action. Price goes up, it fails, it comes back down. This candle opens up, it pushes down, even though it didn't have to. Now it pushes all the way up here. With this candle, it needs to come down and have a wick-to-wick relationship. It doesn't do it. So
that's not healthy price action.
It's not healthy price action. This is an imbalance. This would be an area that you would target as a trader.
Oh, come on, let me write that down. There's a relationship between.
And that's where the patience becomes fun, because you're always going to want to see that cleared. If it's not cleared, you're going to have a trigger in your head saying, okay, I'll remember that. There's a gap right there. Now, it can go down wick to wick and maybe not touch, but it makes an attempt. But if those wicks don't touch, there is a gap in there, right? So you always want to think, okay, there's a possibility that it might want to go down there and get that.
Yes.
It either it will or it won't. But if it doesn't, you remember, okay, there's a gap right there. It left an imbalance, right? The power of 3 candle relationship. And that's ICT.
That's IC. I again, I don't know anything about anything other than ICC and what I'm learning now. That's ICT is just including, I mean, I'm sure there's more variables, but
ICT is Oliver Velez, inner circle trader.
It's Michael Huddleston, but Michael Huddleston is inner circle trader. Oliver Velez,
oh, my bad.
It's all good.
Oh, it's one dude. Oh, okay.
Yeah. ICT is his name is Michael Huddleston. But he has a whole catalog of videos, and every year he does like a mentorship where he walks you through his various concepts and different PD arrays, price delivery arrays, right? So this is a market. So price is delivered to us. We are participants. We are participants in this market, and price is delivered to us through these candles. And he has a series of different price delivery arrays, like how price can be delivered, why it's delivered in that manner, right? What to look for, how to take advantage of price. So what I trade, or the power of 3 with these order blocks, you call it ICI. It's all the same stuff, but it's based on his concepts. And what I would tell you is, as a new person, it would probably do you a lot of good to just start with his mentorship, whatever year you want to start with. I personally like the 2022 membership, but mentorships. But I know it's a lot of people that watch the 2023 mentorship. But it will give you a better idea of why we kind of look at things the way we look at them, right? You'll understand things like liquidity. Like, I don't know if Sai talks about liquidity in his Discord.
Yeah, he covered it once. I mean, the video is probably a year or so old. But yeah, he had covered it for a few minutes.
Right, but I think that as a trader, you have the first thing you need to look for is the liquidity, because the way the market works is it's not moving anywhere until it liquidates somebody. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So if I drop down to this 4-hour chart.
Oh, and real quick, do you guys only look for imbalances on the higher time frame and as well as order blocks, or you look for them always?
Always. You see
Okay.
this push right here? See this imbalance?
Imbalance, yes, because that will.
These three candles don't have a relationship. This candle, this candle, this candle needs to come down here, right?
Oh, yes. Okay.
So there's an imbalance. And as a new person, if you're looking at this stuff, just put a box around it. Mark the imbalance so you'll know, right?
Mm.
Then you would see over here, price comes down and taps into that imbalance, which basically closes it a little bit. It mitigated, they call it mitigating the imbalance. So now we only have this much that needs to be closed. So sometime in the future, price will push down and close this imbalance or come close. So if price starts pushing down, you'll look at this imbalance first. Then you'll look at this series of lows. This is liquidity, relative equal lows, right? If you can put a trend line on it, you know, some traders use trend lines, right?
Uh-huh.
So if you can throw a trend line right here, then a lot of traders bought every time the price came down here.
Yeah.
So now you're going to get this move that comes down, takes everybody out. That will be the first draw on liquidity. Then it's going to pull back up.
And you have an imbalance up there as well. That's where it touched.
Exactly.
Okay.
Then pull down and close this imbalance, right? So if you understand and you can see where the liquidity is, then you're going to have a great understanding of how price works. When you start looking at ICT, you're going to notice things like this. See where this high, the two highs of these first two candles are right here?
Yes, sir.
You still with us?
Yeah. I was coughing. I couldn't hear what you said. I'm sorry about that.
So you see these two candles, this bearish order block? These highs right here, relatively close. They're relatively equal.
Yes.
Then we expect for price to push into this order block before selling, right? Price pushes into the order block. You feel like it's going to sell. Then all of a sudden they wick these highs. Why would they wick these highs? Because price is about to start pushing down. So you take the liquidity from
that's the.
So once you saw, if you were trading and you saw this wick, now you're getting in for the sale. I just saw whoever is probably millions of traders, retail traders who got in for the sale right here. Price pulled back. They probably added another position because this is a 78% pullback, and then whoop, they blew their account or whatever the case may be. Now you can get in because you understand, hey man, they took the liquidity from the top of the market. Now I can sell this.
So you're not looking for price to come. I mean, obviously, eventually price may or may not come back up to that level, but you're only looking for it to hit it once or to break through it once.
So listen,
Then you're
price is probably going to come back here. Listen, I wouldn't personally trade this, but whoever's trading on the lower time frame, they're using this 4-hour bearish order block to trade. Maybe they're just trading it back down to these lows. Right? I don't know because I don't trade these lower time frames, but a lot of people trade the 15-minute time frame. That's plenty of room if you look at it on this 15-minute. So if you were a 15-minute time frame trader, let me see my short tool, and you were trading from here, right, down to this imbalance, that's a pretty good amount of pips. Right? And your stop loss would have been probably above these highs. But maybe you saw this wick and you didn't get in. Maybe you got in after you saw that wick. So maybe this is what your trade setups look like. And this is a 22% trade because you're getting 24 pips, but you only got to protect 1 pip. You saw them get taken out by this liquidity run. Price pulls back up. Maybe you got in right here, protected this swing high, and boom, the price is running right into your favor. I don't trade these lower time frames, but I know it's a billion people that do. You know what I'm saying? And maybe they're just trading price to come back up into this imbalance. You did see this imbalance, right?
Yes, that, and then the one, if you go to like where your 6 o'clock is, like the time frame on the bottom there, it's that higher high. You get the top, that swing high is that one as well. There's 3, the green, red, and then green. That's an imbalance as well, right?
Yeah. There's no imbalance on this side of the chart because this price pushed up higher than any point on this chart.
Oh, okay. So we broke that level, or we broke that imbalance.
Yeah, this was an imbalance from this green candle to this wick.
Yeah.
But when this candle right here pushed up, it closed this imbalance.
Okay.
So there's no imbalance left on this side of the chart. We have to close this imbalance and maybe this one down here. But if you're
that's what you're talking. Okay.
Yeah. So that's why price is pulling down to close this imbalance. If you notice, this is an impulse move that broke this high. Now you're going to get a correction. So I see the correction is to close this imbalance. And then the continuation probably to the upside, like you noticed, there's another imbalance way over here that needs to be dealt with. You see that big imbalance?
Oh yeah.
So if you think about this from the move down, you got an impulse move down. That impulse move down went hundreds of pips probably. $403. It went 403. This impulse move down was 403 pips. Now you're getting the correction. That was the impulse move down. Now you're getting the correction up to close the imbalance. Then you'll get the continuation. ICC. It's the same things, but we just talk about it maybe a little bit differently, maybe highlight the with more precision what's going on.
You actually understand why price is going to go, or at least wants to go where it wants to go. Whereas with ICC, all we know is that price wants to go there. We don't have any reasoning or understanding as to why.
Yeah, okay. I didn't realize that, but yeah, we actually understand why it needs to go there, right? But there are also other things that will stop price from maybe closing this. Like this is a breaker block, maybe. Have you ever heard of a breaker block?
No.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But the point is, price will at least come to this level. So if I put
is that an That no, is
Well,
it an imbalance there?
this is an imbalance. This is your imbalance. But
Oh,
because,
because we broke through that. Okay.
yeah, this is the impulse move down, right? Now it's correcting, but I don't, we can, there's a case for price to stop at this black line. And I'm going to go back up to a higher time frame. And I'm going to look at this black line again. So you see where my black line is?
Yeah.
It's inside a 4-hour order block. So chances are price is going to stop at this black line before it pushes down. And on the 15-minute, you saw that it was what they call a breaker block at that level. And, you know, I mean, you don't need to know all the technicalities, but if you start watching ICT videos, he'll explain all that stuff to the nth detail, man.
And you recommend watching those videos before watching more of the recorded live streams that you guys had posted?
Well,
or any other information that you guys have published?
I think you do them simultaneously. So okay. Your trading journey is going to be several years, right? Like you're
absolutely
a couple of months into it. You're going to need to watch ICT. You're going to need to take one of his mentorships. Now, just because you watch his mentorships, you won't understand 90% of the stuff he's saying because you're a novice. But as you watch his mentorships, and then you come to listen to us talk in our group, we're going to reiterate and drum those concepts into your brain. So you're going to start seeing it, but you'll have an understanding from the horse's mouth. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I might leave out some things because when I listen to ICT, some of the things hit very strongly for me, and other things I kind of let go out one ear, you know, in one ear and out the other, because it didn't really mean very much to me. And I have a particular trading style that I like, so everything that he says doesn't resonate with me. He trades on a 15-minute time frame. I trade on a weekly, sometimes higher. Same concepts, just higher time frame. I have more patience, you know, not as much as I need, but I have more patience to wait on my trade than he does. He wants his trades to happen. So you're going to see that it doesn't matter what time frame we're on. You know, the 15-minute chart or on this 4-hour chart, you got an order block. You got the impulse move. We understand that price needs to come back up in this level. It didn't push that. So now this correction is definitely coming back up to this level. So that's the impulse move that went 400 pips. Now you're getting the correction. You could have been a buyer for this whole correction move if you would have got in at the first of the year. Now, in our group, we were anticipating these buys at the first of the year. Were y'all anticipating these types of moves?
Are you asking me or just?
I'm asking.
Me within ICC. No, to be 100% honest with you, I was only looking at indices.
Okay. So like even in the indices, we have our long range views of them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So
in the group, at least you're going to be able to even if you don't trade the higher time frames, you're going to have a vantage point from a higher time frame, right? So if you look at this 2-month chart, and I know most people don't ever do this, going into January, I expect that price is going to trade down here. Now, most people who trade will probably look at me like I had something growing out of my forehead. Hey man, the indices are going to fall to 35,000. Man, you're a fool, Todd. Like we've been bullish. We were so bullish. Now all of a sudden, we're 2 weeks into the year. We're not bullish no more, right? It's not because I'm some bright guy. It's just I understand that these candles have to have relationships. So this candle needs to go down and touch this candle. That's how it works. At the very least, it needs to come down to this level. So I know that it's going to be a push down. I don't know what the narrative in the news out there is going to be to make price turn around, but even Ray Charles can see that this is a head and shoulders on the 4 hour.
Yeah.
So I think most people would agree, man, this is going to sell. They might not know and understand that it needs to sell down here and fill this imbalance. You see that imbalance?
Yes.
So isn't it weird that the imbalance lines up with my zone? Isn't it weird at the 78 we have an imbalance? So if I looked at this 2-month candle, I don't have any clue of what's going on that 4-month chart. All I did was I put a fib on this green candle. That's all I did.
What?
Yeah. That's all.
Shit. That's crazy.
Yeah, I just fibbed the green candle. I marked my zone. I marked my 78. I can drop down to the 4 hour chart. And this price needs to come down at least to this point. And this is the 78. So it's ironic, or it's a miracle that there's an imbalance right where price needs to come, right? A lot of times you'll see the indices will pull back 88%. There's imbalance. So there's a great case for price to come down here to fill this imbalance. Now as traders, I'm just telling you that price is coming to fill this imbalance. What CNN is going to say is the sky is falling and the market is crashing. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
So, this is where we kind of break from other people, and we don't buy into the bull crap. We just understand, hey man, I can sell US 30 to this area.
And they've been saying it all day. Oh, it's going down in Yemen. The stock market is falling. Like it has something to do with it.
Yeah. I mean, this is a PD array. This is a price delivery array. You got the impulse move. We're getting the correction. That's all. That's all this is the freaking correction. So, I mean, hopefully you understand where we're going with this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So all we're doing is we're utilizing a higher time frame to get my advantage over the market is, in my opinion, this is a one-way market down. So I'm not interested in the buys. I understand that it's going to buy back up, right? But when I get a 4 hour order block and it pushes down, once it buys back up 78%, I can get in for another sale. So if I fib this red candle and look at my pullback, I would be interested in this trade if it came back up to this level. Then I would get in for the sale. And
okay. So you take your entries from, or you try to take you do take your entries from your order blocks that will lead you in the same direction,
yes,
of your imbalance.
Yes.
Or towards your imbalance.
Yes. So if I drop down to this 15-minute, right? So if I drop down to the 15-minute, what ICT would probably tell me is my only chance of getting in this trade will be right here at this 15-minute.
You were just on the 4 hour before?
Yep, I was just on the 4
Okay.
hour. So on the 4 hour,
Okay, yeah.
He would tell me I was being asinine to try to get the trade to come way back up here. Because on the 15-minute, you have to look and see what price is doing. So are there relationships with these candles? If the answer is yes, and there is no imbalance, then I shouldn't expect price to come to my 78.
Okay.
This is an untapped order block. So there's a chance that price can come to this level, but I shouldn't hold out for price to come higher than this. This should be the zone I look for a chalk. You know what a chalk is? Change of character?
No.
So, okay. A change of character is I'm going to show you a change of character. Price was going down. In order for price to go higher, it needs to break a high. So price come down, it pulled back. Here's a high.
Yep.
It went down further, it pulled back. It broke this high.
Yep.
That's what we call a change of character. So I would put a line across here, label this change of character. I would want price to pull back. Preferably, where do I want it to pull back? 78%. You see a theme here? I want price to pull back to 78%. There's an imbalance right here. So maybe it pulls back into that imbalance. Now I can buy price to this level. Isn't it awesome that this level is right in my zone?
Yeah, that is crazy.
So all this stuff that we're doing lines up. And it lines up because this is just how the market moves.
Huh. Man, I appreciate you all bearing with me.
No, it's all good. I mean, but when you do this enough, you just kind of look at your zone and say, okay, there's an imbalance in my zone. So this is where I can expect price to come to. This is still ICI. This is the impulse move up that broke this high. The C is the correction back to fill this imbalance. And then the other C is the continuation to my target. So even on this 15-minute chart, this is where ICT would be trading, by the way. He would trade, maybe he would sell this pullback and then get in for the buy up to the zone. And then if I drop down to a lower time frame, it's probably going to be imbalance at my zone, it's an order block right there. See that order block?
One second.
You see it?
Yeah.
Right at my negative 27.
Right at the zone, and then price goes all the way down to 78. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
That's on the 3-minute. Wow.
So, I don't trade. Again, I don't trade on these levels. I don't trade on these lower time frames. But it's still, the info is good info. It still matches up. It still lines up. It's still the way it works. I just don't have the intestinal fortitude or the time, to be down there.
Intestinal.
Yeah, trying to catch the market moves too fast. Especially when I can just put in a trade and wait a week and get paid. The same way I would if I was going to work.
So that's kind of my goal with this, at least until I'm able to leave my job whenever. My plan is plan's going to change as I go through this. But my plan as of right now is to, find a strategy that works with me, works with my time frame or my time schedule. And then, probably look to trade the higher time frame. That way I am able to go back to work and focus on that and just kind of let the trade play out.
As somebody who doesn't work, I still trade the higher time frame.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be on the charts like that. I didn't quit my job to go back to work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's you don't want another job.
Yeah. Especially if you can make the type of money you want to make from the higher time frame.
That's how you see, with the other groups, they don't know this stuff. As good as they may be, they're not speaking this.
None of it.
When someone's speaking that sauce, you can tell. Real recognize real. We are the best. They can be the best. I don't think they are, because the community is out of control. There's no control. It's not that anybody needs to control it. You got to control yourself. You have to graduate self. Once you have that, no one can stop you. Ever.
Exactly. To me, it's just about you getting a firm understanding. Even if you can't execute the trade, you want to have an understanding, right? There are levels and phases to this. First, you have to understand what to look for. Then you have to go look for it. Then you're going to start seeing it, even if you can't execute the trades. Like, even if you can't get in and out properly or hold it long enough, if you can start seeing it 2 years, 3 years, 4 years from now, you'll be executing it perfectly. And that's when the real profits will start rolling. But it's the process. You got to embrace the process and buckle down with the process before you can expect the profits. And if you can do that, if you can get great at the process, then you're going to start making a lot of money. 10 years from now, man, I mean, I'm not going to do any interviews, but that I know that I'll be making $30 or $40 million from trading in a year. And not because I'm on my charts trading the US 30. I'm talking about from the regular pairs. if we have regular pairs still, you know what I'm saying? But it's to me, this stuff is this is life, man. This is
If you don't mind me asking, when did you start trading?
2020.
Wow.
August of 2020, I placed my first trade.
Did you start with ICT or?
No, I started with this girl named Ruby, just regular support and resistance. I got tore out the frame. I lost about 60 grand. Man.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was I put 60 grand in at one time and lost it,
Yeah, but just
I never realized that I lost that much money until I put in my FX book. My FX book didn't lie. I was like, yeah. But and at some point, I knew, because I used to hear people talking about Wyckoff and then smart money concepts, but
I've heard of Wyckoff.
Yeah, I didn't know anybody who knew it. I would hear or watch the YouTube videos and people would mention it. And I just started scouring the internet for smart money concepts. Then I learned Wyckoff, and the smart money concepts is what made sense. Kind of like I'm explaining to you now about the imbalances and all that, and then the liquidity. Like, no, as a regular retail trader using support and resistance, we don't pay attention to any of that. They just said draw these lines or boxes on your and you wonder why you're getting wrecked.
Yeah. There's a lot of situational questions that can be answered, but those don't have the answers.
Exactly. And you just get frustrated because you're losing. And I think a lot of it too was me not really understanding how long the trade could last. If you're trading on a 4-hour chart and you get into a trade and then you get 4 indecision candles, that's 16 hours. And I used to think like, man, how come the trade ain't moving? Or I'm in drawdown still. I shouldn't be in drawdown 16 hours later. Well, yeah, it can happen. Like you can get 3 or 4 indecision candles. So it's just one of those things where you only know what you know. And if you don't have anybody in your ear explaining it to you, then you're going to wreck yourself. But, the group I was in, I don't think she understood it as much either. But she didn't trade many pairs. She got her money mostly off the indices too. And to me, the indices are just a different animal. It pays different, it moves different. It still goes to imbalances and whatnot, but it's a faster process.
Okay.
And we got people that trade everything. So if whatever you want to get into, we got somebody in the group that trades it.
Yeah.
Latch onto them and keep it running.
How do you guys, just a broad opinion, or if you don't want to share, I understand. How do you guys feel about crypto? I have absolute zero knowledge. If that's not what we're talking about, I understand.
It's the future. You need that. I mean, you're a young dude. You have to. How old are you?
I'm 19.
Bruh, you better embrace the hell out of crypto. You're 19. Your whole life, your whole adult life is going to be based around crypto. It's not going away. You're going to have a different, your internet is going to run off crypto. You understand that, right? The internet that we use right now was built when I was a kid. It was built in the late 80s and 90s. www. No, that's the old. They're going to have a new internet. A lot of those coins, you know, are internet projects. That's the internet is going to be based off of that technology. So I get it. It's difficult, and it's not really difficult. It's like trading. Once you jump into it, if you go to somebody's crypto website, it's going to be 1,000 different dudes talking about different projects.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. So what it boils down to is how much time do you have, you know? But I don't think we can ignore crypto, and it's a lot bigger than Bitcoin. Solana is gonna have a lot to do with the future, I think.
Solana.
Yeah, I think Solana is gonna be major. I think Solana. I was telling my brother, I think Solana is gonna be worth more than Ethereum. I wouldn't be surprised if it's more than Ethereum this cycle.
Cycle meaning year?
Well, I think 2025 is 2025 the end of this cycle, OG?
No, it's this year.
Well, I know it's the bull market starts this year, but I think it'll end in 2025 at some point.
No, I've heard that term a lot. What does that mean? I just kind of thought that meant like end of the year, everybody's balls due with their money.
Have you ever heard of a financial cycle?
No.
Okay, that's great. So, well, think about the economy. The economy, did you know recessions are natural occurrences in economic cycles?
Natural occurrences?
Yes. Yes.
No, I know they're reoccurrences, but not natural.
Okay, let's look at it. The economic.
I saw WEF meetings.
You said what?
I said I saw World Economic Forum meetings or annual meetings.
Yeah, but look at this.
Business cycle.
This is how it works. You have the expansion. This is not where we are. You have the peak. You have contraction. This is where we are now. Then you have recovery. So in this contraction phase, right? This is contraction. That's what a recession is. It's your economy isn't growing, it's shrinking. So if it gets too contracted, you go into a depression. Like the Great Depression, right? You're 19, so I know you've heard of the Great Depression at least.
Yeah. Don't know too much about it, but I've heard of it. Yeah.
Well, you know, you can kind of Google it, but hopefully you'll never experience
it.
But when the economy shrinks, and I don't want to insult your intelligence, but
Mhm.
the economy is just the total output of goods. We go to work, we produce things in the United States, whether
Mhm.
it's clothes, whether it's food, cars, whatever we build here, homes. We all go to work and we do whatever we do at work. Some people are plumbers, some people are home builders. We produce
Yep.
things. And when you produce things, it generates income. And when you get your income, you go out, or your wife or your kids go out and they spend that income on something, on clothing, on candy, on shoes. And this flow of money drives up the economy, right? Because money is flowing freely. You're earning money, so you're spending money, right? You don't
I'm
really.
sorry, it cut out. I can hear you again. I lost you at your kids spend your money and then.
Yeah, so your family spends money and you don't complain because as long as you're making money, you're not overly concerned on how much you're spending or you know that they're spending money. Maybe you
Yep.
have a certain savings amount that you want or investment amount you want, and they can go spend the rest. So during a healthy economy, you have that ebb and flow, right? You earn money, you spend money, it's all gravy. But during a contraction, well, maybe you get laid off because the economy is shrinking. So when the economy shrinks, that means business ain't good. So they don't need as many home builders. They don't need as many people to sell the houses. They don't need as many people to work at this plant. So people get laid off. The economic output declines. And you go into this recession. Then you have recovery. Generally speaking, during a recession, the fiscal policy is restricted. We're slowing down or controlling the flow of money. And we do that by charging more for you to borrow money. You understand that? So if you want to borrow $100 from me, if I say, yeah, I'll give you $100, give me the same $100 back Tuesday, you'll always come to me to borrow $100.
Yeah.
But if you ask me for $100, I say, yeah, bring me 150 back Tuesday. Then you're gonna say, I don't necessarily need that 100. I'll just wait. Because you don't want to pay me $50 extra. And that's the same thing with the raising of the interest rate. Like when the Fed raised the interest rates, that's exactly what they were doing. They were charging you more to borrow money. So nobody's going to borrow money. Once we get to a level that the supply and demand equals out, they're gonna lower the interest rates and we'll go into recovery, right? And when we recover, people are going to start borrowing money. Money is cheaper. The more money you have, the more you give to your kids, the more you give to your wife, whatever. The more you spend, you're going out to eat, you're going to the movies, you're going dancing, you're buying a new car. So the economy is flowing again, right? And then it just repeats itself. Eventually it gets to the peak where it's running too high. At the peak, what happens is everybody has money. Everybody wants a new car. Everybody wants a new house. And guess what? There's only so many cars that can be made. It's only so many homes. There's only so many groceries. So now they have to increase the price of those things and they have to tighten the cost of money to bring you back down. So
that I just had like an oh shit moment. Like that's so crazy how it is natural and it is just going to be a reoccurrence until the end of time, I guess. Or
yes.
That's crazy.
And this is where you as a 19-year-old get your advantage. Because you're going to understand what the market looks like and what you're trading during the peak, what it looks like in the trough and what you're trading, what it looks like during recovery. And this is the same. Bitcoin is also going to land on these cycles. Why? Because Bitcoin is a technology. I just explained to you that crypto is building the new internet, right? So when money is expensive, the first thing that people stop putting money into is technology. So yeah,
why is that?
well,
Oh, actually, no, that makes perfect sense.
makes perfect sense. You don't have extra money.
Yeah.
So you don't go get the extra technology. You don't go get the best car
Yeah.
with all the extra navigation package. You go get the base model. You know, you don't go get the fancy iWatch. You go get the Casio, the one that just tells you you know what I'm saying? So whenever they release, you hear them talk about dropping interest rates. Have you heard that?
Have I? Yes, yes.
So whenever they drop them interest rates, all the technology, all the Bitcoin, all the crypto is going to the moon because money is cheap.
Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah. So that's what I mean by this, right? So this cycle should last through 2025. And you should expect it to peak out at some point in 2025.
So it's not an exact date time stamp.
No, it's
It's
not
just
an
a matter of
exact date, but
yeah.
the cycle runs about every 4 years. So if you think about this, every 4 years, this is the advantage that you're going to have over every other 19-year-old. You're going to be flipping your money because you understand where to put your money as the cycles through. Hey, I can buy the indices. Hey, I can sell the indices. I want you to look at something real fast. And this is the US 30. Do you remember when the pandemic hit?
What, big 2020?
March 2020.
Damn, that's damn.
So what were you doing and where were you?
I was a junior year, senior year.
Okay. So if you had been a trader when the pandemic hit, nobody had a job. The interest rates were zero. You can go borrow money. They give you money for anything, right? They sent you free checks, right?
Yeah.
Didn't they send people checks?
Yeah. Mad people.
So if you look at this, if you were a person who understood the market, you could have put your check on the US 30. This is April 2020. Look, what's the price? The US 30 was at 21,843, right?
Holy shit.
By the end of that year, by the end of the year, the US 30 was at $30,863. The US 30 gained 10,000 points that year. If you had had the understanding that you could have bought, you would have made 10,000 points that year. So at a 0.01, one position, you would have made 10,000 bucks. Now, the next year, it went up an additional 6,500 points. So 6,500 points. So you would have made $16,000 if you had just held it for 2 years and did nothing else. And then they announced that they were going to raise interest rates. Look what happens when they raise interest rates.
It plummets.
It plummets. You could have sold it. You could have took your profit and then sold it. It went from 36.5 all the way down to 28.7, almost.
And there's your natural recession all the way through. That's wild.
There you go. So if you understand, hey, they're going to raise interest rates, I'm going to sell the indices. Hey, they're going to drop interest rates, I'm going to buy the indices. If you know that for the rest of your life, you'll be a rich man. So, you know, that's what I mean by a cycle. And it's the very advantage that you will have over the regular person who gets up, watches the news, eats breakfast, and goes to work. They don't know any better. They don't know that there's a better way. They don't know that a guy like you is getting rich while they go.
Hey man, I greatly appreciate being in here and you guys bearing with me and so willing to teach me all these other things that might not have to do. I mean, obviously have to do with trading, but the other aspects of it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know you were that young. I mean, you working and you know how to work. You have a forward thinking mentality. You're perfect for the group.
I appreciate that, brother.
I like Brett, can you imagine if we turn this young dude into like a millionaire at the
We will. We
That dude-
will.
we got a couple of 21-year-olds or whatever, but like I can't even fathom having money at that age. I would have been dead.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of been my thing is I have all this capital that I've been saving for years, and I mean not years, but like about let's say a year or so ago, I stopped all the bullshit that I was doing, people I was hanging out with, the activities I was participating in, and just decided that if I want a better life in the future, that I have to save money now for a future investment, and then I kind of have the capital now. I'm not gonna say I have a lot of capital, but I don't have a little bit.
Yeah,
And I don't want to just have it sit and depreciate.
Yeah, you don't need a lot, and just be patient. You don't have to put it all in the market. You can do $50 at a time and grow that 50. That way it'll keep. Listen, we all gonna lose first. I want you to understand that you're not different. You're gonna lose first. That's how this works. So before I would put any real money in, I would use a demo. But if you're hard-headed like I was, and you're gonna use real money anyway, I would suggest that you use the least amount. You can put $10 or $20 into a KOT Forex or Osprey FX, and you can trade the Forex minis.
You said how much?
10 or $20, dude.
What?
Yeah, seriously. And you can trade Forex minis. It's the same thing. It's just a miniature version where you don't make or lose very much money, but you can test your concepts and test your trades. And you can grow that money.
And Osprey is a broker. I mean, I don't take personal recommendations. I mean, I do a personal recommendations, but like, not what am I looking for?
Osprey and KOT Forex are unregulated brokers, right?
Okay.
But they're brokers that most of us Americans use if we're using a personal account. Listen, if I use a regulated broker, I have to use like TD Ameritrade or some, one of these yahoos in the United States.
Yeah.
Which, I don't use them because I'm at a disadvantage. It's higher spreads. It's crazy trading rules. I can't hedge. It's under leverage. With an overseas broker, I can get 1 to 500 leverage. Not that you need to use 1 to 500 as a beginner, but once you learn to trade, you can use 1 to 500 leverage. You can grow your money very fast. It's the very reason why the United States don't want you to use the 1 to 9. They don't want you to be growing money like that.
Well, they just cut all that shit out. All the unregulators that were on MetaTrader, and the same thing with the regulations with crypto.
It won't be MetaTrader. It will be Trade Locker. It's just a web-based platform. It's the same. As long as I can grow my money, I don't care. They can put it on. Yeah, they can put it on iTunes. I don't care. But I just want to be able to grow my loot. And as long as I can do that, I'm cool with it. Everybody tripping about your age, 19 years old.
Yeah.
Whew, man, I was 19. I was at Fort Lewis, and then I went to the Marshall Islands. I would have.
That?
Man, it was a part. Do you understand it? If I had real money at 19, I would have about 30 kids. I was in the Marshall. You couldn't tell me nothing as a 19-year-old, man.
Oh, that's funny as shit.
I was a walking Bro, do you understand the type of damage that a 19-year-old dude can do? You know,
Yeah,
over in the islands, man. Man, God always he knows, man. Like he won't give you more than you can handle. That's for sure. Because I'd have been in Hawaii, they'd have had me locked up, bro. I was
Yeah, I hear you for sure.
I was still out of control when I discovered forex. But one thing about forex changes you because most people aren't at a mental space that they can actually make money. Most of us have to get pulverized before we can turn into the people we need to become in order to make money. Most of us are too greedy, we're too impatient, and we're undisciplined. So, you have to fix those things before you're ever going to make money.
And that's within all realms, not just trading and charting.
Well, it is, but I think more so in trade. I was in the Army. I did 20 years in the Army. I went in when I was 18. Wow. And to an extent, you have to be disciplined in the military too. But you still don't have to be as disciplined as you do, in my opinion, when you trade for it. What do you think, OG?
Huh?
Do you think you have to be disciplined? Do you think the military discipline is as strenuous as the forex discipline?
No.
Yeah. See, because as long as you come to work on time and you're at PT on time, you're good. You can still go out and be a menace. You can drink every night as long as you don't show up drunk. You can have as many women as you want. You can do all these things, and your outside of work life can be totally out of control. As long as you're a soldier at work, you're going to get by. Like you're going to be okay.
I understand what you're saying.
But in forex, no, man, you have to be totally under control, and you can't step outside that box. And the thing that really hit me in the head is we're trading. Trading is a zero-sum game. So I don't win unless you lose.
A zero-sum.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Someone has to lose. There has to be.
Losing. That's right.
Yeah.
So when you think about it, don't you think that Chase Bank or Berkshire Hathaway hedge fund loves to see you coming? They love when you bring your money.
Yeah.
They know
trader, no experience.
They know you just finished drinking, or you're greedy. They move the market one tick, one direction. You're gonna hop in. You're gonna go all in, and then they can just whip it back the other way. Like it's almost. I mean, it's not even almost. It's just like if you went to a high school or a middle school and try to hit on chicks. It's not fair, So, that's the market. So, once you understand it and you start viewing it like that, then you start kind of guarding your money. It's always going to be an opportunity to make more money if you have enough capital to last that long. When I first started trading, man, I put my money in on Sunday and my account would be blown by, and then Wednesday the trade setup would hit and I'd be like, damn. So if you can avoid those pitfalls, man, you have a great opportunity.
Now, and again, this is a personal question. I don't know how you guys structure your live streams or whatever. I know he mentioned this was like a good one for a beginner to join. Do you invest into any other realms? Because I love the idea of trading, the idea of being able to make not a set dollar amount, an unlimited dollar amount from wherever, as long as you have a phone or whatever and service. Now, I guess the ideal long-term goal for me is real estate. I like trading. I want to trade, want to make a lot of money doing it, but I mean, like long term.
I laugh at I listen to a lot of these podcasts, and I think most of these traders all say the same thing. Like, trading is not for long term. It's you want to make money in trading and invest it in something different.
Mhm.
And I disagree 1,000%.
Really?
Well, I'm gonna I'll pitch it to you like this.
Yeah.
Forex been around since the beginning of time, but it opened up for the retail trader in the year 2000, year 2000. So if the banks have been making their money through Forex, how come
The banks are always going to be the thing? These natural recessions are always going to be a thing. There's always going to be money to be made.
Market cycles are natural. So if the banks if the banks never stop trading Forex, what the hell do you mean this is not, you can't do it on long term? That's a lie.
Yeah.
That's a lie. So this is what I would tell you, man. And I remember my dad saying this to me. When I was a young dude trying to play football, and I was a skinny dude. My dad really didn't want me to play. And my dad got divorced. He's like, man, you're too skinny to play football. You need to hit the weight room. So the next time he came down, maybe I was a little bit taller, but I wasn't gaining no weight. You ain't hitting the weight room. Yeah, I am hitting the weight room. And he said, man, you need to hit the weight room, either 2 a days, or you need to work the same body part twice a week. And I'm like, you can't do that. Your body needs to, you got to rest these muscles. Recovery is an important part of the muscle. And my dad told me, he said, well, yeah, for the regular person, but not for the professional athlete. Your body does what you tell it to do.
Damn right.
Trading is the same way. If you're telling yourself that you can't make consistent money trading, then you won't be able to do it. But this is what I'm going to ask you. Who's your favorite trader?
My favorite trader?
Yeah.
I don't know too many. I had watched a bunch of Alex G's videos in the beginning. Okay, Alex, I watched.
But the dude you was in his community.
No, just Sai.
Okay. Sure. How much money did Sai make in his first month or his first year of trading?
I don't know, but it was a multi-million-dollar figure. I forget, it was like 9, 10 or less, something like He
made $11 million.
Okay.
This is a guy that made $11 million in his first year of trading. Tell me what piece of real estate you can buy that's going to grow $11 million.
Yeah, not in a year.
There is none. So if Sai can do that, and it was probably by accident, a little up, right?
Oh, for sure.
But if I'm showing you what happens in the market every day or every week or every month, it's recurring. The bigger your account gets, the more money you can make, right? You're not going to get worse in the market. You're going to get better. You're not going to get less patient. You're going to get more patient as your experience grows. So what makes you think that the 7-year veteran Jimmy isn't going to be better than the 2-year guy Jimmy? Right? Why do I think that the 7-year Sai won't make $50 million when the 1-year Sai made 11?
Yeah, it means you're not confident fully within your strategy.
Or you don't know what the hell you're doing. We know what
yeah.
I just showed you a financial cycle. Listen, when I replay what happened to me, if I knew in 2020 what I know now, bruh, you might know me, but I might be like a porn hero or something. I would be some big gigolo or whatever. That's not the type of guy I am. But what I'm saying is,
I hear you for sure.
The person I was in 2020, if I could have made, listen, I was making 138K from the railroad. I was retired. I was disabled. Like I get a disability check from the military. I was probably making about 160K. And I was paying for my apartment cost me $1,600. But I had so much money, so much free money that I mean, I had thousands and thousands of dollars to blow in Vegas. If I had just known about the market, I could have put 20K on the US 30. Right? And then I could have sold it that next year. And then I could have bought it, this year. And I could be worth $50 million. So what I'm saying is those people might not be able to trade long term. But for me, I will be the old dude who's making $10, $15 million every month off one trade. The same way that me and the crew sat here on December 30th, that was a Saturday, on our Saturday call, and we said, hey guys, this trade that we're looking at for this month is going to go up. This trade, all we got to do is get in this trade. All we got to do is buy USD JPY. I could have put 50, 60 lots, $500, $600 a pip. And look at this, we got 600 pips. I can go buy a piece of real estate because of this trade. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So don't ever fool yourself into believing what those talking heads are telling you, because it's not true. It's not true.
They'll kick and scream. They will kick and scream, and they don't know nothing.
Yeah.
They'll argue with you, and you know what you're talking about. You see what happened over in the group. If you understand healthy price action, you know what I'm saying is correct. That lets me know you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Now I got to sit here and have a debate with you over nothing. It sounds stupid.
This is true.
And this is why Cy didn't kick me out the group, because he knows I know what I'm talking about.
This is also true.
What happened, OG?
Oh, well, people think that you're trying to take people from their community. They think you're trying to sell something, think you're trying to poach members. That ain't it. We believe in community. I don't care what community it is. I'm gonna give you my best if I step in the building. And people will try to say, oh, he's doing this, he's doing that. No, we're not gonna let you just say, you're not gonna tell me what I'm doing. I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing.
Right? You know what's funny, OG, is every group is the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Hey, how did you find Cy's group?
Ant.
Oh, you should have sent me the thing so I could be there laughing.
I almost sent it to you. I was like, let me go ahead and do this by myself. I'll take care of it.
Oh,
that shit was funny. I can't lie, but I mean, it definitely didn't come from a place of coaching or none of that. It was definitely a place of just like, if anybody wants a better understanding. That's why I personally reached out to you, because I could tell that you weren't on some like, oh, come join me, pay for my mentorship and yada yada.
Right. That's how I met Todd. Todd and Tyler Nair's group, and we all got kicked out.
That is hilarious, man.
That's funny. Real quick, so I have a bunch of buddies that are getting into trading. However, I have only one that I'm confident in his behavior and activity and accountability. Now, I don't want to just go ahead and invite him here, but I would like to give him this equal opportunity that I have as well.
As long as he's not sending OnlyFans links,
Yeah, what I ain't even gonna ask. I seen that this morning, but
hey,
I don't.
Hey,
none of that shit, brother.
Yeah, because they come in spamming, brother. They're gonna get kicked out. Like, oh, what?
Absolutely.
Who their Wi-Fi money was?
Well, just.
Huh?
I said it's justified.
Yeah. I mean, it's a free community. We want everybody to learn. I don't control, what we do here. I do my thing, and everybody else pretty much does what they do. we respect each other. We don't like curse each other out or anything like that. It's just community, you know. This ain't like a Facebook fan page or nothing like that. But you know, it doesn't. If you're in here, as long as you're not selling stuff, because I don't want to be held responsible for people who are selling. We had a dude that sold some bots one time.
Oh man. Oh, I understand. Yeah.
Good. But other than that, man, you know, your trading style is your trading style. You know, I might talk trash about it. I would never, because all styles work, right? Like support and resistance works, smart money works, all that stuff. But you know, everybody doesn't the exact same, which is cool. And I think that that is one of the strengths, in my opinion, you know, of the group, because we are versatile, we're flexible. It's something for everybody.
Everybody's optimal in their own way.
Yeah, you know, but we don't. I just don't want anybody coming in with disrespect. That's all.
No, absolutely not. That's why I decided to ask, as opposed to just being like, "Hey, here's my buddy."
No, yeah, you can invite.
Thank you. So you guys do live streams every day, and in the mornings as well. I saw this morning. I was at work, but I don't have any trucks to do tomorrow. Are you guys gonna be live tomorrow? I'm getting paid to just sit at home.
I think
it's starting to expand.
Yeah, I think New Often, and if I read that correctly, I think we'll have some people on. We used to do it. This dude named Will used to do his in the morning, but I think New Often and Kim are still doing it. Is that right?
And get with them too, and you can be the lead. You can run a Zoom. You have all that we need for a person to have: intestinal fortitude, forward thinking. You're not a slouch. So all we'll do is lace you up, and then now you're a leader. Now you reach a certain demographic, a certain age bracket, right? We need someone in that level to be the face of that age bracket, right? You're perfect for it.
Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. We appreciate you. We appreciate everyone who's active.
Exactly.
I'm just mind blown that I even found this group. Just out of one random ass message in general, out of all the bullshit that's in there.
Yeah. Hey, leave it to OG to find you. OG.
Oh yeah. I go. I go.
That's why I wanted to be part of that group. I know it was some stuff, OG.
Oh, I'm still in there. I'm still in there.
Send me the invite, man. Because
I go in there every day. I've been batting 1,000. Every trade I've posted in there has been a winner.
You got to send me the invite so I can get my laugh on, man.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And my boy OG's a fisher. He's talking to me in fucking rig terms.
Huh?
Oh yeah.
He was talking about Texas rigging and shit last night.
Oh
yeah.
You talking about trucking?
Yeah, just the language, right? You got to learn how to do a Texas rig. You get to the what is it, the Carolina rig? Like you're not gonna know how to do it immediately, but it's a language. Once you know it, you know it. It's just like anything else.
And that's the thing. I've just like you said, or I'm sorry, what was his name? Todd.
Yeah.
He said how all strategies work. It's just a matter of what works best for you and how you manage yourself.
Mm-hmm. And
That's
you're
true.
not by yourself. You have people around you that can give you anything that you ask for. These
Exactly.
people over here don't know how to ask. They want to be the clown. Like, stop being a clown.
Yeah, that's the one thing I've never understood in that group, is nobody's there to actually help.
Because they're lying. They're not doing what they say they're doing.
That's
the perfect look.
Who's in there? That's like your boys group, huh?
Yeah, it never changes.
Hey, he just wanted he got a group because he want people to sing his praises.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's a lot of the mainstream trader space.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy to me. I'll never understand it.
I can't even begin to comprehend. Guys, got any good books you recommend? Read 48 Laws of Power recently. How to Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Currently reading Atomic Habits by James Clear.
Hold on, let me
Quarters theory.
Say
Quarter-
again?
Quarters theory.
what is there?
Quarter Steer.
hmm
All right,
I
definitely
heard
will check that out.
I got a book in my Audible that I kind of started, but I haven't really finished it.
Mhm.
It's Reading Price Charts bar by bar.
Price chart, bar by bar. And I assume ICT's, I'm just asking all the questions I got now. I assume ICT's mentorship is obviously paid. It's not a free.
Oh, it's free. It's free.
Really?
You just got to go to YouTube. Yeah, you go to YouTube and put in ICT mentorship, either 2022 or 2023. I really like 2022, but he'll have a 2024 out here shortly if he doesn't already have it out. But all of them work, right? Like all those mentorships are great. But the reason why I suggest reading or watching his stuff is because whenever at least me, whenever I talk, and it seems like I do a lot of the talking on Saturdays and whatnot, or whenever I try to explain setups, I that's exactly where I get it from. So I would rather people hear it from him than sit here and try to listen to me. You know what I'm saying?
I understand for sure. And everybody that I've seen is profitable, just trades their own variation of, I mean, it's all terminology and slang, like you were explaining last night, but a price action. You're not predicting or guessing or look at this candle pattern or,
Right.
it's truly just following where the money is telling you it's going to go.
That is it. That is it. We don't have to guess when the order block already tells us we're going this direction.
My mind is blown. I've been in here for an hour.
Trust me, I understand because I remember them days.
We pulled you out of the slaughterhouse. That's what we did.
You ain't lying, bro. The motherfucker was calling me liquidity last night. I was dying. Oh shit.
I can't believe you was in the group. Hey, you didn't tell me that. Like that's pure comedy.
Yeah. They got like 2,000 people over there, man.
Oh, bro, that's just popping 24/7. There's always an argument going down.
It's always like that if it's a big name. You know what I'm saying? If it's a big name, it's always gonna have a crazy amount of people. Even though that said name is not even helping. And sometimes you just get a following so big you can't help everybody.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That ain't gonna happen here though. Hey.
Yeah.
I agree. But I don't think we'll ever get that big because we're not on any, we don't get the press.
It's an accountable network.
Well,
it's beautiful.
And you need something has to blow you up. Somebody has to interview you, something, but
what do you mean? You're like branding wise?
Yeah. Like the Thigh wasn't huge until he went to that trading
yeah, it was like No Limit Trader podcast or something like that.
Yeah, beginning trader podcast, No Limit he did several different interviews. And then he became huge. For me, that's not my goal.
Yeah.
I don't want to be I would never I guess I wouldn't say never, but that's not I don't have any desire to do that.
Yeah, it's not your ideal.
No, and to me that's weird. I don't want people to know who I am.
I agree.
Or how much money I'm making. Like
I agree.
What if I'm down in Colombia and somebody kidnapped me? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, or I can't go to a certain part of the world. I don't want to be that. I want to be the same dude that I've always been
Yep.
and move the same way that I've always moved.
Man, and it really, to me, it's really not even about like the money. It's just about having freedom of my time and being able to
Yeah.
travel where I want.
And don't get me wrong, it is about the money a little bit. Like you
Oh,
do,
I mean, for sure, for sure.
you
Want a
do
little
want
bit
to
of cars, want a little bit of houses, you know, but the overall goal is find just freedom of my time.
Yes, yes. I agree 150%. And I just don't think you can be free if everybody knows who you are. And maybe that
No.
is cool to do in America, but that gets you killed in other places.
Yep. Damn right.
Yeah, ICT, he posted that post about getting death threats and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, the Western world is twisted.
Well, just but it's not even just the West. It's if you go to Brazil, imagine it. If somebody recognized you in Brazil, like you're gonna get kidnapped.
Yeah. And they ain't gonna have a damn clue where you at.
Exactly. And maybe you get killed. I mean, all over because you did a YouTube spot on somebody's podcast.
Damn, that's actually, yeah, that's a good perspective for sure.
But you know, as a young person, you kind of seek the fame. I think, at least you know.
I would agree 100%. Even if like I don't really want to or mean to, subconsciously, there's that part of me that's like, it would be nice to have some followers or some eyes on me.
Yeah, that's how I used to be.
Yeah.
And now, like, man, I want to be anonymous.
Yeah.
Because you know, for several reasons, but you know, I don't want no feds on my case.
You ain't lying.
I don't want no bullcrap. You know, I don't want no people trying to hunt me down and rob me or hurt my family, you know, because they want freedom. That's just crazy.
It's crazy because you're teaching people how to pull money out of thin air and they don't even hear that. They don't see that. They don't believe it. They just want your money. That's it.
Exactly.
Crazy. And that's why the 1%ers in the world are afraid of the world. They want to stay 1%ers. They want to be in the background. They don't want to be around what's going on in the world.
I never understood that about my boss, is how he never even wants to talk to me about. So like the company I work for, it's a very small trucking company for like bucket trucks, right? So we purchase, not we, the boss, the owner, investor, purchases them from auction. We fix them up, whatever, get a high return on them. And he only uses this business to pretty much not hide money, but like obviously there is a large profit that's being made, but he only uses this to help benefit his real estate. But he never is open, or he's open if I'm questionable, but he's never like in my face or like talking about it or even mentioning that he does other things outside of the business that I'm in.
Of course, he don't want you to tell your friends and your hoodlum friends come hunt him down. So
you're not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I wouldn't tell. There's no way I would go and tell people what I do. If they don't know, they don't know. You know, which is cool. I don't dress flashy, you know, or anything like that. Like there's nothing about me that would say I know how to trade. And I'm cool.
Todd, if someone were to ask you, what would you say?
About what?
What do you do for a living?
I would tell them that I traded.
They wouldn't understand it either way.
Exactly. I there people judge you off appearance. Really. That's either you look like $1 million or you don't. You know, I mean, Warren Buffett said at one time in his interview when they asked him why he didn't have a bunch of flashy stuff. And he said the first reason is he just never thought to do it, you know. But the second reason is, you know, out of safety, you know, he said people walk past him on the street every day and don't realize it's Warren Buffett. Unless you recognize him from something that he's done, then you say, okay, that's Warren Buffett. But his dress, he blends right in. You know, the car he drives, he said, is worse than most cars on the street. And it's just how it works. You know, like if you, when you get to the point where you can make $1,000 a day, are you going to wear $1,000 pair of shoes every day?
Yeah, right.
I'm just asking, like, who would do that? Who would? What are you going to spend your money on? And
like, you're actually asking me, or what?
You know, for me, I'm a 50-year-old, right? I'll be 50 in March. I'd rather take.
You're almost as old as my dad.
Yeah, I would rather take my money and go fly around the world, go on vacation here, go on vacation there, than to spend it on things. You understand? As a 50-year-old, I've had all types of shoes. You know, the most expensive pair of shoes I ever had was a pair of Ferragamo's, right? But I don't need that. I don't need that stuff. I don't need the wood shoes. No, I'm not in nobody's office. I don't need a $2,000 suit. I look good in a $49 suit. You know, I don't need Jordans. A regular pair of shoes is good. I don't, you know, that. So as a young person, you need those, or you want those other things, right? You want to be a little bit more flashy. You know, you want to draw attention to yourself. Maybe that's your way of getting in with the women. I've been in with the women. I don't need to do that. Like, I've been there and done that. So the older you get, you view it in a totally different light. Not that I think that a 19-year-old should view it the way I view it, because you, as a 19-year-old, you got to go out there and do you. You know, you got to sow your oats. You gotta experiment and experience life, because then you realize what you like and what you don't like. The climate, the people, the food, all that stuff, the clothing, your style, your sense of style. But you know, at this stage in my life, I don't need to be famous. That would hurt me more than help. I go on somebody's podcast and they telling people this dude got a $68,000 withdrawal. Now, when I get off the plane in Brazil, I'm getting my throat slit, or I'm getting dudes is jacking me up, telling me to give them some money. No, bro, that's not what I'm here for.
Yeah. My social media, my Facebook, my Instagram, I have people that I know. I have it locked down so tight that I can't untighten it. Now I can't add people to my friends list because I done locked it down so heavy. I done forgot how to get it back open again, so I can't add new friends. But that's how I like it. I'm not gonna go into one of those, oh, we'll get you 1 million followers, you just do this. No, I need people I physically have spoken to and physically know on my friends list. If I don't know you, it ain't happening.
100%.
Yeah, I just don't want to I don't want to bring unnecessary drama into my life.
No, absolutely not. I mean, bro, I was so consumed by all that shit. Weed, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, all that shit. I had to delete all of it. And it was just like a matter of dragging myself to the gym one day. I don't like the gym, but I had to find something that I do like. So like I rock climb now. I do that probably 6 days a week. And I just do my at-home work. You said what?
The gym or rock climb?
I did the gym for like a week. I don't like it. It's not my thing. But I knew that like in order to like what's the word? In order to better myself overall and have that like mental control, I have to do shit that I don't want to do on the days that I don't want to do it. Same thing with like cold showers. I started taking a cold shower every day. Same shit.
That's true. The older you get, the more you appreciate the thing.
Say again, it cut out. I'm sorry.
I think the older you get, the more you appreciate the gym.
It's definitely hard to right now. It's almost like a I'm missing out feeling.
Yeah, but I in the military, I used to hate working out too. And then a couple of girls said something about my arms. Then I didn't hate it so much.
Just like that.
That's as honest. I mean, I'm being very honest. Sometimes that's all it takes, man. Like you get noticed by the opposite sex. I mean, that's why most dudes want money, so they can get flashy and have the girls notice it. But if the girls notice you already, or from your physique, then you need less money. You know what I'm saying? So,
for sure.
At the end of the day, it shouldn't be about the girls either. But at 19 years old, there's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with wanting to show out for the honeys and all that stuff. Like that's natural.
But more so that it's just a matter of being able to provide when the one does come. Like not being able or not missing out on that opportunity because I didn't put myself in the situations that I needed to be in to further my learning, my discipline, everything.
It's amazing what you're saying. Like a lot of people your age don't say none of that.
That's what I was just thinking. Like, man, this dude is way more advanced than me, because I was not like that. That's crazy.
I mean, I like you said, you had your experience like that. I'll give you mine because I've only been consistent with learning about trading. Because like, let's say I've been learning for a month and a half, right? I've only done a solid 2 weeks of research, right? And those 2 weeks were the past 2 weeks. And what got me to that point is when I was at the gym, seeing these two girls, and I was speaking to them, seeing them again, got the numbers, right? And came to realize not all these women around here are just OnlyFans whores. There's actually valuable women out there that desire valued men. So if I can't provide that or like create value within myself, then how am I going to expect a valued woman? It just doesn't work that way.
Yeah, that's true.
So that was my kind of like eureka, like, yo, dickhead, you got to get your shit together.
Well, here's the kicker. So we're Illuminati, right?
Oh man.
Yeah, we sacrifice Wi-Fi money for you.
I'm gone.
Oh,
I'm dead.
That damn Wi-Fi. But hey, please let me go. Let me go. Give me the invite so I can go ask Wi-Fi buddy. What the hell wrong with you, man?
Let me send you
Send
the
an
link.
OnlyFans links or something.
Man, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's crazy.
He started spamming every channel. Like what's wrong with this dude, man?
Oh, I didn't see that part.
No, that's funny.
He had sent me a personal message.
Bro's an online pimp.
If you use if you look at your phone where you get the notifications for Discord, you'll probably get 5 or 6 of them from that dude.
That's wild.
I just so happened to be trading or up looking at the charts, and I got all these notifications on my phone, and then man. So I went and booted him and deleted all his things for the last 6 hours. It asks you, how far back do I want to delete his comment. Yeah. I was like, what an idiot, man.
What life questions do I have? Do you have kids? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, I do. I have a son close to your age. When you said smoking weed, it kind of, I was like, man, that's my son.
Well, so that was me for the past 3 years. Every day, the dabs, the gas, you name it. I was making my own edibles, making moon rocks, right? I came across this neurobiologist and ophthalmologist. He's a professor at Stanford. His name's Andrew Huberman on YouTube. He hosts this podcast. And I'm a very realistic person. I always have been, even when I was blinded, full of delusion. Um, and I started to I finally decided to click on one of his videos after it was on my recommended for months. Months, I was just ignoring the signs. And the first one I watched was the podcast with Robert Greene. It's like 3 hours long. It's about finding your purpose. I love Robert Greene. He wrote Mastery, 48 Laws of Power, some great books. And it almost makes you feel stupid as to how blind you are, or I was, to all these opportunities that surround me and opportunities that I can create with just behaviors. Like you are a direct set of programming and what you put into your body, whether that's media, food, exercise, what you're doing with your time in general is the exact correlation of what is going to come out. And I don't know why it took so long to realize that, but when I did, it just clicked, and I was like, yo,
I know, right?
I go to sleep at midnight every night. I smoke every night. It's like these things, and the more I started learning about weed and how it affects your REM sleep and how it affects the way you digest information, I'm like, oh, why don't I remember what Bull was talking about in the ICC chat a day ago? It's like, bro, you just smoked fucking 3 blunts. What do you mean you don't like? It makes perfect sense.
It's funny because my son is 22, and he knows how much money I make and what I do, and he gonna smoke his weed. he don't care nothing about trading. But I say that to say this. I didn't really understand or learn most of the stuff that you're talking about, how you reacted to, until I was in my 30s. Here you are 19 saying, hey man, I realized I got opportunity choices. Bruh, I was in my 30s, right? I was in my 30s, still playing basketball, still, living the life. So I think that you had a great upbringing, or some great parents that they were able to reach you, because I don't think
I would. It's kind of I mean, I wouldn't. They're not terrible. Definitely not terrible. Far from it. But it was more of a motivator, right? I cannot be in that same situation when I get to that age. It will not happen.
Hey, well, those are great parents. Those are great parents. If that's all they had to do.
Huh? What you mean? What the fuck?
If your parents' failures motivated you to success, bruh, I mean that's awesome. Because I know for sure that your parents weren't as poor as I grew up. And it did motivate me to join the Army and to get away. But as soon as I got away, and as soon as I felt safe enough, I was partying. So, I still think that something had to be instilled within you to push you to do the right thing. Because, I mean, as much as I knew what the right thing was, it was very hard for me to do the right thing repeatedly.
This is true. For sure. I agree.
I think that is a testament to your parents. Even if they didn't achieve, what you thought they should have achieved, or what they could have achieved, they taught you to be observant, and you had an understanding of accountability. Right?
That's it.
Something
Damn, you're a whole therapist.
Well, I'm just saying, something in you recognized that you're accountable for your actions from this point going forward. So a lot of young people aren't like that, man. I have young people that in fact, I had a niece that she was really depressed and pissed off at her mom, for whatever reason, right? And I'm not saying my sister was the greatest mom, but None of us are, man. We're we have kids too early, right? We're not necessarily trying to have kids. We're trying to have fun, and then all of a sudden we have a kid. And, you know, listen, it's part of life, and then you have to go and you be a parent, and you do your best, even though you're probably not equipped to be the best parent. You're not in the best financial situation, or whatever the case may be, but you live life. And then your kid grows up pissed off because you weren't the best parent. And listen, I'm not disregarding the kid's feelings. Hey, yeah, you're probably right. You didn't have the best parent, but you're very bright. You attended college in Paris. You know what I'm saying? Get over it. You're of age. You're in your 20s. What more do you want? And the self accountability just wasn't there. Then she made an attempt on her life at some point, and then she woke up, like, man. I'm like, man, do you realize if you had been successful, the only person dead would be you, and your mom is going to live another 50 years? You know what I'm saying? Yep. So what is the end goal here? Is your life that crappy that you're gonna off yourself? Or are you going to put your foot in the ground and make some choices that project, your life in the direction that you think it should be in? Then all of a sudden, we start living our lives. So I say all that there are always multiple ways that kids can interpret bad parenting. Maybe it really is bad parenting. Or maybe you just have a jacked up way that you're looking at. At the end of the day, every kid has valid complaints about their parents, because no parent is perfect, right? We don't have enough patience. We don't have enough money. And we don't have enough time, because chances are we got to get up and go to work, because we're not independently wealthy, because we didn't plan, or we didn't wait until we had adequate finances so we can have a kid and spend all day with that kid. I mean, on Leave It to Beaver they do, but in real life it don't work like that. So I just think that there is a disconnect between what kids think and the way life really is. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just part of life. But I think most children overcome that without doing harm to themselves. And you actually have a great outlook. You say, hey, man, I want to do things differently. I don't want to be like my parents. Wow. I should have did the same thing. I said something similar, but then I got to the Army and I was like, well, she got a nice body. Oh, she got a nice body. And then all of a sudden, I'm a parent. You know what I'm saying? So, it all sounds good. But most of the time, we have to understand that our parents were us. And maybe they were us without the education that we had, Maybe they didn't really realize that they shouldn't be having sex without condoms, even though that seems like it's something that everybody.
Damn, you just put me in my place.
Well, hey, I'm just telling you the truth.
I needed that though, for sure. Just that other outlook of like, damn, just that one sentence you said was like, they were your age, your position, just with different information, and that's the only thing that leads to the differences and where I'll be at their age and where they're currently at. It's
exactly the truth. And when if you look at forex, it's the same thing. The difference between me and you is
damn.
I started faster than you.
Preach.
It is what it is. I think there's a lot of miscommunication between parents and kids. And the truth is, somebody else can tell you and you can get it. But if your parents said it, you would just dismiss it.
Yeah, I don't know why, bro.
Yeah, well, it's because there's a personal hurt there, right? Like
Yeah.
there's a sense that, hey man, you did me wrong. You hurt me. And hey, I get it. People get hurt.
Yeah.
It's like you hurt your girlfriend's feelings. And that wasn't your intentions, but once it happens, it's a wrap. It happened.
You ain't lying.
It ain't no coming back from that. Hopefully she'll be cool. But I always tell my son the same thing. Like, man, your sensitivity level is way high, bro. Way high.
That was me for a long time. For a long time.
I can't. I'm not justifying reasons why why what I did shouldn't have hurt your feelings. But all I'm saying is, like I tell my son, and I'm sure your parents would tell you, I did that because that's the information I had. I didn't do that to hurt your feelings. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy that you would have your feelings hurt. Like,
damn.
I didn't realize you wanted me to sit at home with you for 6 hours. When I was a kid, I didn't want my parents at home. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. And that's just one example, but there are different things that kids have their ideas. They don't communicate them to you. Like, the kids don't communicate what they feel to their parents.
But no, absolutely not.
Their parents to know,
absolutely.
It doesn't
for
work.
Years on end.
Now imagine if you had a woman that expected, and you will, and she will. She'll expect for you to understand. She'll expect for you to know how she feels without her telling you.
Yeah, that shit don't work out.
Yeah,
that shit ends real quick.
Like that. And then she'll think you're an idiot, or you're playing her, and you're like, man, come on.
Yeah, I don't gotta imagine that.
Yeah,
you've been through that.
Yeah, it's crazy. We got a girl in the group, and I always try to equate her trading to her relationship, and she doesn't. She thinks I'm just messing. I'm being very serious.
Yeah.
She'll do stuff in her trading that she has no business doing. And I'll be like, well, if your boyfriend cheated on you, you should be okay with it. And she'll be like, no. The same thing that you're doing in trading, you don't mean to blow your account. You don't mean anything by it. You just can't control yourself. Some dudes feel the same way about women. Hey, man, I like my girlfriend, but this other girl want to give me a little bit. So, you go and do what you got to do. It doesn't make it right, but I'm not trying to lose my relationship over it. I'm just trying to have fun.
Huh.
And then she always tried to push back, and I'm like, no, man, that's really how
and it's just about learning from that situation, not that it happened. I mean, like, obviously it happened, but it's just what can you take from that?
Well,
they usually don't take anything. They just keep doing it again and again and again.
And that's
you ain't lying.
Well, look, I used to be a cheater, married, no, whatever. Hey, man, I didn't mean anything by it, but it was just some extra stuff. My values weren't the same as everybody else's values. I didn't love the girl I was cheating with. I mean, I loved the little sex we had, but I didn't love her.
And that's all because of the information that you began that relationship with.
There you go. But I knew that it was wrong and all that stuff, but it wasn't a personal attack on my spouse. But she took it that way. But it's the same, that those same things happen in trading, right? Either you're a cheater or you're not. If you look at cheating as wrong, you're not going to cheat when you trade. You're going to have a harder time cheating. But the people who cheat and don't see anything wrong with it, it's a direct reflect.
Straight up.
That's facts.
You either
That's a
are
direct reflect.
And they won't agree. They'll keep saying this and that. No, you can't talk your way through this. See,
Right.
you can't talk your way out of this. You either cheat or you don't.
Yeah,
The facts present themselves.
that's
You
it.
can get away in life, but you can't get away in trading.
Exactly.
Damn. That-
It's
yeah.
it's another zero-sum situation. It's either this or it's that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm, that's. I needed this talk for sure.
Yeah, it's all good. I think that whenever young people come, I think it's awesome because I just always think back, if I could have been a trader as a young dude, man, life would have been so different. So different. I mean, you have money for any and everything.
Mhm.
I mean, that's awesome. Like you're going to have a great life and with great opportunities just because you have the ability to go anywhere you want, anytime you want, just because you
Man.
trade.
And to think, right? This is so crazy. Not my so I was gonna go to the gym, right? I got home, got showered, all this, right? Usually I go straight to the gym, and then if you guys are live or whatever, I watch after, whatever, right? Do my studying at night. The roads are all bad. They're not too terrible. But I got in the car, got all ready, got my water and shit. My gut was just telling me, bro, do not go. I didn't know if it was because I needed to be in here or if it was because the roads and I was gonna crash. But there was something telling me that I needed to stay home today.
Where
And it was for this reason exactly.
where do you live?
I'm Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Hey, you're an
Yes,
Eagles
sir.
fan.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, I'm a Cowboys fan, but,
Really? I'm
hey,
gone.
hey, we met the same demise this weekend. My son is an Eagles fan too.
I keep it 100. I'd only watch the Phillies. I'm a baseball dude. But you know, just kind of got to represent by association. Couldn't tell you a damn player on the team, but you said Eagles. Hell yeah.
Yeah, they got tore up last night though.
I heard that. Everybody was talking about it at work.
I was picking at my son about
Bro, it's so crazy to me. She said Philly. What's so crazy to me is that so many people my age are so willing to take the amount of time to watch all these sports and go back and even watch prior games and be like, oh, fucking, I don't know, Harper's about to hit 2 home runs tonight, so I'm about to put a parlay on this dude. You won't take 4 hours to watch a trading video or any sort of investment, but they'll spend so much time on sports betting in
Right.
so many aspects.
That is funny.
And it's predatory. And
What do you mean?
you don't, there's so many intangibles to betting. Like, and people try to compare it to trading. Trading is a skill. I'd rather take $1,000 and bet it on myself rather than some team, right? You bet that on yourself. When you get, I used to bet a lot in sports, and in the future I'll probably do some more, but there's so many things at play that go against you that you have no idea what's going on in the background. Those are like soap operas for men. These games don't play out because of their skill. It plays out because of a process going on in the background. For not always, but a lot of the times. How do you think the number on the spread is so calculated to the game? They play it that way, right? There's no way for you to know. But in trading, you can tackle all the intangibles. You may not know everything that's going on in the market and stuff like that, but you have a better chance of betting on yourself in the market than you do on betting on any sports team.
Just like we talked about where the trade was going
Mm-hmm.
and why it was going there.
I
Like,
would bet that before I took my favorite team in sports.
exactly, every time.
And I would win.
Trading is a lot better to me than craps. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Then what?
Craps. Casino craps.
Yeah, I don't know anything about any of that.
Well, I mean, that's what I used to do when I went to Vegas. I used to play craps.
Yeah, the dice.
Roll dice and you get a 50-50 chance. Probably not even a 50.
That's yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. But I used to go every weekend, man. Every weekend.
Or how many people play the lottery and are like, oh, but it's only $3 or only $5 out of my paycheck. Over time, that adds up. You could have invested that.
Exactly.
But look, you didn't know about the minis. How many people don't know about minis?
All my boys that are like trading this, trading that.
Yeah.
The
And
lot
all the
sizes and
people
stuff
that
like
you know that put money, they go after work and they get the scratchers, they get the ticket, they get all this stuff, and you can take
yeah.
$10 and put it in a trading account and trade minis, and you will make more money. The money that you're going to be making outside of the fantasy world of winning the lottery, you're actually making your own lottery money right here. It's crazy, man.
And not even just about the money. Even if I do lose the 10, 20, 30 bucks, it's the experience that comes with it. I don't have to lose the $500. I can lose the $5 and then gain the same level of experience. Well, not the same emotion, but the same.
It is the same emotion. Trust me, you're gonna be pissed about losing that money. You're gonna be pissed about losing. You're gonna be pissed. Like you don't want to lose.
It's like, damn, that's 25 minutes. Or not 25 minutes, thank God, but
yeah, I really think that's the key, man. Like, man, if I can go back and just listen to somebody before I put all my money in that account to get grinded down like that, I would have traded minis and stuff like that too. I didn't have the knowledge, man.
and what was it, Osprey, and then what was the other one? Let me write them down.
KOT forex.
KOT forex. Okay. 1 second. Osprey and KOT. Yeah, I don't even know what I was gonna say, but couldn't have been important.
I think that as a young dude, man, you all over.
Oh, that was my question. So with Osprey and KOT, because obviously, like, I got a lot of videos to watch. I got a lot I need to learn before I go throwing any money at markets and shit. I do have like a paper trading account on TradingView that I'm gonna continue to use. But with them, do you have to use crypto or can you just direct deposit? And then same thing with withdrawals.
It's how you got to use.
I mean, I'm not even really worried about. Oh, it is crypto.
Yeah. You'll have to use the crypto to deposit and withdraw.
And then I guess, do you have a personal recommendation on where to store your crypto as well as where you hold it? Like,
Coinbase, what are it's a billion different crypto wallets.
okay, so yeah, the mainstream ones aren't a bunch of bullshit. What you're saying?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
As long as some people have hot wallets, some people have cold wallets. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah. I only asked just because I heard of this thing called Safe Haven. I was looking into them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm recording.